Grammarly now uses.
Hello.
Buddy,
Hi.
that
Man,
was some cute
I
music.
well, yes, I had to switch over to the reggae dub music. I picked this other playlist and it was a real bummer. In fact, one of them was called Sleepy Hollow. I was like,
Oh, that sounds a little out of place for this time of year. I feel like that was a last month's playlist kind of a
well,
thing.
and it wasn't even Halloweeny sounding. It was just like a lullaby. I was like, ugh.
Well, sound check is good.
Very good, very good.
And it is, so I have like, there are one, two, three, four, five, six windows in this room. I have five of the shades open all the way. It is very overcast. That's
Yeah,
also why I look like a wet dog, is because
I
I
can
was out
see that
walking the
it does
dog
look
and it
dim
started
in
raining.
there, more dim than usual.
Yeah, so well, here's the thing. So there's like one window here, one here, and then three. And my hope was to set up my camera in front of those three windows so that I could show some quilts. And I'm hoping it should still be bright enough to see them well. Um, and then I guess I just have to figure out how to raise the camera enough so that you're not like looking at my belly button. So we'll figure that out. But yes, it's not normally as nicely bright in here. It was like in the last hour, the sun had come out, and now it's all like looking crazy and stuff again.
Yes, welcome to my world. Every time I want to take a picture of any of my work, it'll be like midnight or literal midnight outside with the sun being
Mhm.
overcast.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Totally get it. But I look forward to
Although
seeing
that,
them.
yeah, well, so here's the thing. I'll probably have to like run out midstream to my car. I did bring in one bag because it's been raining all morning. And I was like, oh, of course it is.
You guys haven't
Also,
seen anything until you've seen Jill scurrying with a little pile of quilts.
I mean, luckily most of them are in bags, but yeah, well, when I went to take the dog out for a walk, I was like, oh, the rain has like stopped. Let's rush out and take a quick walk. And we did, and it started raining again during the walk, and that's when I was like, oh, so much for that. Um, and I where was I going with this?
Complaining about the rain, not bringing quilts in because it's pouring.
Yeah, I guess I was like, well, I'll try to grab like one bag really quick, which I did. And then I have a couple over here from another recent purchase that I haven't even fully opened myself anything,
Yeah,
so we
that's
can look
right.
at
So you've kind of
actually
got two batches of quilts. One I think is smaller, right?
three.
Three? Wait a minute.
Three.
There must be something I don't know about.
Yeah, there's a small stack of quilts I got from a local friend recently that was doing some downsizing. So there's yeah, believe it or not, Stephanie, I own things that you have not seen before.
I feel like you own things you haven't seen before.
That could be true. That could be true. Um, and I did also recently sell some things in my booth, so I'm just trying to think about like I need to go bring I need to go bring things up there. I'm actually thinking of going
Yeah, with the
Black Friday
holidays coming up,
weekend.
does the antique store do like a Black Friday situation, a shop local Saturday situation?
No, not that I'm aware
Oh,
of.
well, that doesn't mean you can't market something, right?
Yeah, I could.
Winnie is not interested in being on camera. No paparazzi today, please.
um I had texted the manager yesterday and it had just been like, "Hey, is it historically busy that weekend? Like what?" He's like, I'm not really sure, but like we're expecting
Oh, yeah, he's new, right?
people."
This would be his
He's new,
first
yeah.
holiday, yeah.
Well, I guess the question I should have asked is they normally always have like two people working because it's multiple floors. And I guess what I meant to ask him is, do you have more than two people working any of those days? Um, just because I was gonna be like, hey, I was thinking about coming up and just like putting some stuff in my booth, but when I'm going up with smalls, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Unless I'm planning kind of like an overhaul, it doesn't take a long time. So I guess I was gonna kind of say like, hey, I could offer some work.
Hmm.
Like I could either be someone up in the barn with a set of keys to open cases, or like I could be downstairs. I don't know how to operate their register, but like I could wrap things,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, or give people breaks, and obviously whoever I'm giving a break to has to be the one that's up with the keys. But um, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't get much of an answer from him about anything other than I was like, I think I'm gonna come up, and he was just like, yay. And I'm like, okay, I guess we'll discuss it when I get there.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure I'm sure he'd be happy for any assistance. They seem to love you, just based on my experience there. You guys, if you haven't heard the story, I was informed that on my drive from Maryland to Maine, I was going to have to stop by this antique shop that is in the very southern part of Maine, because Jill has a booth there, and I was not allowed. I didn't have to buy anything necessarily. Hey,
when did
LJ.
I say that?
I well, that was a rule I gave myself because I'm like,
Oh,
my funds, my little slush fund has to go to seminar. I did say I would go back and consider buying from your booth if I had extra money. But long story short, my mother and I walk in, and the lady at the register, there's a quilt there, which we later realized it's some friends of ours were actually buying. They were there too. But this woman was looking at the quilt, just I guess because it was sitting there, and the lady at the register was talking about the quilt, and I'm like, I think that's Jill's quilt. And she was talking Jill up like, we have this, new young dealer here. She's done so much. She's here all the time. She has great stuff. She does so much marketing for us because, she gets people in here, and so they like you.
I mean, I'm hoping that the business is going to sell to a new owner, and I'm hoping to make a good impression
Yeah.
so that they'll bring some things up to the 21st century.
Yeah, I look at antique shops, and especially like antique mall kind of scenarios where, um, you've got all of these different vendors in there, and I know a lot of the ones that we've gone to, I mean, they have like like not inventory systems, but they have the systems where
Oh yeah, they've got one of those
there's
computer
codes and
systems.
things. I mean, yeah, they seem to have
Yeah.
like a nice like modern register system and stuff, but I feel like there's, gosh, with all of the technological changes and also sort of the changing demographics of people that are both dealing and collecting antiques, um, I think that antique shops and antique malls, maybe it's worth them starting to rethink how they do things.
Mm.
Both dealers and the shops themselves. I know lots of dealers have always sold on eBay. I
Mm-hmm.
realized
Mm-hmm.
that, gosh, it's been ages ago. I had bought something from a dealer. I want to say it was like a antique like sewing magazine or something, and they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. This was in my booth at the antique mall, and I can't find it. I don't know if it was sold and not properly credited, or if somebody stole it. I'm so sorry. I'm refunding." And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, that makes sense." Like, I would also be kind of double dipping that way. And there's nothing illegal about it. It's just you've got your stuff in multiple
Some
venues.
some malls
They
some
don't
malls
allow
have
you to do that.
policies. Some malls, yeah, have policies about that. Not mine, but some do.
Well,
I
so
have
this is it. So that's an interesting equation, and I mean, I understand. Sometimes they're like, we don't want any dilution of, selling opportunities, because they make a commission off of selling from your booth, right?
not all malls take a commission, but lots do. Mine
Mm-hmm.
does. Um, but yeah, I have seen some stories where like they're like once it's in our mall and we are the ones assuming responsibility for it, you can't sell it elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a thing.
I do understand. I get it. But I also, as a dealer, would be like, I'm
Well,
maximizing.
that's just it. If a dealer goes in and removes items,
Yeah, I mean,
you
now I
can't
could
just
see in your
assume.
case, you are an hour away, so I feel like it might be a little bit more cumbersome for you if you were also
Sure.
selling some of these things, like, especially someplace that maybe has a kind of a quick sales rate, like you have less control over it, like eBay or Etsy or something like that. Whereas if you're selling on your own Instagram or whatever, you have a little bit more control. But yeah, I could see for you be like, sell it. Now you got to get up there, get it just in case, because Murphy's
Yeah.
Law says they will sell that thing before you can get up there. And then that creates an issue for you. But yeah,
Hmm.
I got to be honest. If I had, you know, a booth somewhere, you better believe I would be also listing those things other places.
Yeah, there's lots of vendors that, I mean, that's called cross posting.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of vendors are, and they're even online. They're doing that across
Sure. Yep.
multiple apps. So,
I don't know how many times I've bought something from somebody on Mercari, and it's been a while since I've done much
yeah,
online.
I haven't heard you talk about them in a long
I
time.
was getting some great stuff off Mercari, and it's just budget. I just, you know, and they were also doing weird
Mhm.
things with the fees and stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember you complaining about the fees went bananas out
they
of
did,
nowhere.
because what they did, and I think they tried. I don't know if you guys have ever shopped on Mercari. It's like eBay, but more of like a clean out your closet sort of thing. It's not. It is not, absolutely not intended for people that have like businesses. It's literally people cleaning out their closets. And small dealers.
Hmm.
They were doing a thing where, I mean, of course, there's fees associated with every transaction. That's how these sites make their money. They were turning it so that the vendor didn't pay the fees. Like on eBay, people price stuff based on knowing they're going to owe eBay a fee. There's costs involved, and so they price accordingly, or they do their shipping accordingly. That's how they make the money up.
Hmm.
Um, but Mercari did a thing where they flipped it around, and the seller was not paying any fees. The seller was just getting the money that you paid them for the item, and Mercari was making the buyer pay the fees. And it was very transparent.
Kind of like the way auction houses make you
Mm-hmm.
pay the
Yes,
premium.
exactly. It was, that's almost how it was. It was like a yeah, a buyer's premium. And I, you know, there may still have been some small transaction fee that the seller was responsible for, but I liked the transparency of it. But I also was like, yeah, I don't want that transparency.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, wasn't there something that you bought on there where like the fees were more than the item cost
Yeah,
or
it ended
something?
up being ridiculous. Yeah, it was something like really small, and I'm sure it was a matter of like, excuse me, I got a little tickle in my throat. I'm sure the seller was just like, this is something in my inventory I just want to get rid of. You know, they were a small seller, but
Hmm.
yeah, that once I was like, it was like a $3 item, and I paid like $6 in fees, and there was shipping and all kinds of stuff, and I was like,
Hmm. Hey,
I'm
Janet. She's
Janet.
all sunny, cool day in Monterey Bay, but at least you're unpacking boxes.
Unpacking, yeah. I still am
I'm
so
gonna
jealous of
unpack
Janet of her
too.
renovation.
Yeah, I'm gonna unpack too, but it's not like a pretty sewing room kind of unpacking. And I'm still thinking like, how am I gonna prop up the camera?
You've got
Um,
furniture. I know you can do it.
Furniture. You're right. I'll take the couch and I'll put it on top of the shelves over
Now, I
there
know for
to.
a fact you have TV tables and things like that. So,
Well, no, you're actually on a TV table right now, but I need you higher than that,
mhm.
is why I'm like, what am I gonna put?
You guys should see videos that I have done. You would never guess what kind of insane rigging, cardboard boxes, all kinds of nonsense.
I bet. So if you could entertain the masses for a sec while I just
Entertain the
figure
people.
out, yeah, figure out this contraption. I'm actually gonna close my I'm actually gonna turn my camera
Okay.
off for a minute.
Well, friends.
I'm still here
Okay.
via audio, so don't talk crap about me because I will respond.
Well, I don't like to talk crap about you unless I can see your face. Um, so I guess I can share the little project I've been working on. If this is like a teeny project. I don't know. I had all these little tiny pre-cuts of plain white fabric I had gotten at an event, and I didn't end up using them for what they were intended. But I mean, I think it was like it's 40 or 50 little squares. So little squares I didn't have to cut, and they're nicely cut because I have a problem with the the rotary cutter, right? Um, so I had these and I thought, well, I could make some little studies. So I'm literally have this enormous like shopping bag just full of the teeniest tiniest scraps that originally I was just kind of putting aside to stuff something. For a very long time I have had plans to make this giant ottoman out of denim. One of my many many unfinished projects, but anyway, so I have all of these scraps and so I've just kind of been randomly pulling pieces and some of them I'm cutting, I fussy cut this little skull. Some of them I'm literally pulling them out as full pieces. So like this, I didn't do any cutting here. This is another one I kind of did minimal cutting. I cut the strawberry out, but everything else is kind of as is. I kind of like this one, pebbles or something. So I don't know. I thought this was fun. This is one. So this is kind of how I start off. I kind of pull some pieces. I do a little bit of snipping and cutting, and then I sort of lay it out. I don't know if this is gonna look like this eventually. This is another one. I kind of just do some basic layering and stuff and see how I like it and pin it. And then once I start stitching, it might change a little bit. So like I could change that. So anyway, it's a nice little like watching TV and doing a thing. Little applique. If you like hand applique, I think it's a way to practice working on shapes with like it's like low risk, right? I know a lot of people don't, they fear hand applique a little bit and just picking up just doing little studies and they don't have to look pretty. I mean, this one's frankly kind of ugly but it's interesting. I fussy cut this little flower and I kind of cut it into this like oddball football shape. So yeah, this one was actually I had a little block of a half square triangles I had made I don't know when and I don't know how it ended up in the box or the bag. But yeah, so very enjoyable, very easy to do while one is watching television. And my husband and I have started watching a new show. It's new to us. It's not a new show. If you have Netflix, has anybody watched The Diplomat with Carrie Russell is the primary talent. The guy who plays her husband, I can't remember the actor's name. He's a character actor. Michael oh gosh, I can't remember his last name. He's the guy that played Lenny of Lenny and Squiggy from from Laverne and Shirley. He plays the president, which is pretty funny. So yeah, Janet says cardboard is versatile. 100%. I save my Amazon boxes for a minute. I usually save them for about a week before I put them in recycling because you never know when you're going to need a box.
Say, how long is that minute?
About a week. I will skip a recycling like out with the boxes that are definitely not getting used and hold on to the good sized ones. I don't save every box, but the ones that seem chewy boxes, they're at least the ones I get because I'm getting cat food and litter. They will ship kind of in a long sort of like it's not super narrow, but it's kind of long. Those are they're stable. They're the thicker cardboard because it's shipping heavier stuff. Chewy boxes. If you don't have a pet, buy food for your friends' pets, or take their boxes.
So I think I have rigged.
Okay.
It's a couple of small boxes and a cake stand.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like the clouds are moving a little bit, so I want to buy just a little bit of time. But I thought one thing I could do to buy that little bit of time, because I do seem to have some decent lighting right now, is one of the things I got in a recent auction from Virginia, where they basically paid me to take the stuff.
Yeah, I remember you said you got some really decent deals.
It was an auction where I won 17 lots. And one of the things I got were a couple of lots of mixed vintage and antique, like laces
Oh, yeah.
and
I
all
see some
kinds
lace I
of
recognize from
all kinds of
the
stuff.
70s and
Um,
80s.
yeah, LJ there said she just watched American
Mhm.
Revolution. I think that one's been on my list.
Yeah, the
Um,
innovative leadership considering how intelligence was gathered. Yeah, how on earth did they know what to believe, right? I that's on my list to see because now you're yet another person, LJ, that's given us like the thumbs up on seeing that. And I mean, it's Ken Burns, right? Like, how could it not be
mhm,
fantastic?
mhm.
Interestingly enough, I am descended from a revolutionary spy. My mother and my grandmother are DAR members. Well, my grandmother is deceased, but she was a DAR member, and we used they used. I have no intent of joining the DAR. I like their programs. I love their museum, but I don't want to be a member. Um, but the of course you have to get your lineage up to a Revolutionary War figure, and our figure is a woman who she did two things that were sort of major. She um, saved her father. Basically, she put her father put herself between her father and redcoats that were coming in to storm their home. And there is a etching in the Library of Congress of this, and it's this young girl, and she's like doing one of these, you know, with her father behind her, and she's holding back the redcoats with their muskets. It's all very dramatic. But she also crossed a river in the middle of the night. It's the Tiber River, well, I think I've seen it spelled Tiber and Tiger, but it's in western South Carolina, and flooded river. And you know, this is all so dramatic, and you probably didn't happen this
Mhm.
way. But anyway, she crossed the river because her brother was part of some military unit, and she crossed the river in the middle of the night to let him know some intelligence. So that's one way that intelligence gathering was happening is they random people were able to tell, I guess, you know, it was a trusted person that they could tell this military intelligence to. And apparently it saved some lives or stopped a raid or some kind of thing.
I'm curious, can you only be a member of the DAR if you're descended?
Yep. You have to do the genealogy. Yep.
That sounds kind of silly to me.
It's a little elitist, isn't it?
Well, shouldn't they maybe have a different tier of membership for just people that want to support the DAR? Like,
I think they do. I mean, I think that you can be a member in terms of like be a member of the museum, like that kind of
yeah, that's
thing.
what I mean. Like,
Yeah, I do. I'm sure they have something like that. But to be an official member of the Daughters, or there's also Sons of the American Revolution, but they don't do the kind of stuff that the DAR does. Yeah, you have to have the genealogy. And the thing is, like at this point, like I don't have to do my genealogy. It's been done. I just
mhm.
have to take the paperwork my mom and my grandmother had and submit myself and pay the dues every year. And I'm like, no, thank you. I appreciate what the DAR does. They have done a lot of like American relief. Like basically, they are the ones that have had bake sales essentially for many important American monuments and
Right,
things
but
like that.
none of what they've done has to do with everybody showing their lineage to the American Revolution and whatnot.
No, you just have to be like it's basically saying I'm descended from a patriot, so I'm going to continue to do patriotic acts as a woman, an American woman.
Oh, couldn't you just do patriotic acts?
Yeah, that's my feeling. And you know, I mean, I don't want to disparage anybody that is a proud member, but here's the thing. It is very very privileged. I mean, it's like you are if you're a woman who belongs to the DAR, you are a white woman. There are no women of color generally tracing their lineage back to the Revolutionary War. I cannot think of one, and I've been there to the DAR, been into the like the back area because I've been to a symposium there, and they have all the stuff on the walls, all of the DAR congresses and all that stuff. Sea of white women, and I mean that's like what else? That's what it is, unless you're descendant of Thomas Jefferson and Sally. Was it Sally Hemings? Was that her name?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think that was her name. So unless you can prove like genetic descendancy like that, as a person of color, you are not going to join the DAR, and I think that's horrible. It's very elitist, and I don't like it. But I will still support what they do as a museum and a collecting institution and that kind of stuff. But I don't want to be involved in their club.
Maybe some of that tradition will change.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. Yeah. Hey, Jan.
Hey, Jan.
Oh, LJ says lots of things going on in South Carolina in the Revolution, the documentary, the American Revolution. So, yeah, I have to see that. Anytime there's the stuff going on in that part of South Carolina, I'm always intrigued because it's like that's where my people are from, the Appalachian hillbillies that they are.
All right, let me show you something cute.
Yes. Let me see what you got.
So this is for anyone that came in late like a Jan. This is from a bag of trimmings and things, and this is one of at least two. I don't remember how many. But look at these cute little strawberries.
They're teeny little appliques, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I loved, I mean, do you guys remember those adorable little appliques that you could get for like little girls' dresses and things?
Mm-hmm.
My mother just loved to make things like that when I was little, and I hated it. I was like, I don't want to wear a dress. And now I'm like, oh, I would love a little strawberry dress.
Yeah, I have to God, you gave me your tickle.
Sorry.
I have to decide how I'm gonna like package these things because I mean they're really, like pretty and dainty.
Oh, that one's really pretty. That looks like some kind of old, I mean that looks.
Yeah, it's been removed from something.
No, that's what that looks like.
That's what that looks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? That's what that looks like.
It's like an eyelet. It's like an eyelet type of lace, and yeah, it's got like this wavy. It looks like it's ripped, kind of, but that's what that looks like when it hasn't been used. Okay. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, it looked like ripped off to me, but
yeah, I would say that's like mid-century, maybe.
I was thinking maybe like getting like cardstock and like wrapping it around the cardstock and then like putting it in like some little cellophane.
Yeah, that's the way I would see it, and I feel like that keeps it a little bit nicer if you've got the measurement
and cleaner. Yeah. Well, and then I could. Of course, I gotta measure it all.
That's one of those things. Like, as I have so much fabric that I really want to kind of put out there as like a Studio D stash, but I haven't done it because, oh my gosh, it takes so much effort. It's like you need to have like a fabric measuring party. Right? All right.
I am actually like going to kind of have something like that, for quilts. I'm gonna host like a party type thing because part of the issue with like, getting quilts like online and stuff is not just the photos because that's a big time suck, but it's just all that tedious, the measuring and that, it's this many stitches per inch and it's this kind of block and the blah 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 blah. It can be such a time suck.
It's almost a documentation project.
Yep. So I am going to like have a party where we do a number of quilts, and it's going to be interesting.
Now, if you had like, could you have it like a trunk sale where people could maybe come help and like get a discount if they are measuring something they love?
I mean, you of all people know that I always.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
I always take care of people that are helping.
Sure, but I'm just thinking, like, in terms of like that might be a sort of a fun thing for people to do, like, if you have a lot of something like quilts that you want to sell or fabrics or something, like, invite people that might be interested and to help out, and they get like, that's their pay.
Oh well, I definitely want to do that with all the stuff I have to downsize from my mom's.
Oh yes, rooms. your big quilters yard sale, yeah.
Here's another like trim. I'm trying to figure out like which way is the front because it's like not like ironed flat, but.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? That looks like it might be something handmade that Because that's a big
Someone
fat,
added.
yeah, big fat rick rack, and it looks like somebody's added like a crochet
Mm-hmm.
to it. What do you guys think? That's what that looks like to me.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like to me too. There's no kind of, it's just tied up. There's no like
Mm-hmm.
label on it or anything. Um, but it's neat. And there's, yeah, like they literally just like jammed all of this stuff into this. Oh, here's more of that eyelet we just saw.
You know, that's the thing that I kind of figured out with auction houses and sometimes with like eBay, like high volume eBay sellers, they will put out this big lot of stuff, and it's like there's one thing in there that's like super valuable, and then there's all the other crap, and it's like they're forcing you to take all of that junk they don't want to get the good thing. And people fall for it and love it. And I mean, it's not terrible, but you know, it's kind of like, look at this one treasure I found in this box, and it's like they set it up that way. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
that they didn't know that was in there. Oh yeah, that's pretty.
This
Yeah, I
one's just like a small piece.
yeah, it's hard to tell just looking at those. They might be poly cotton, and you know, then you know they're from like this after the 60s, so like 70s, 80s. But some of those look like they might be older, and especially that one big piece of white.
Mm-hmm. Well, so far I've got two of those. It's also, God, I'm afraid like I keep like pulling at something and I'm like, I don't know how long this thing is or where the edge
Don't
is.
unravel an entire piece of lace in case it's
Yes.
valuable.
I have no idea what this tag says. None whatsoever.
Huh. No, but that's pretty lace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that jaggedy edge, like that's the way that lace is made. I think it's kind of a mirror of the other edge. It's
Hmm.
like it's the way it's cut out.
This one is neatly like held together.
Oh, that's cute. That's kind of got like almost a cut work look, but that does look like a poly. Yeah, that's a poly. That's a polyester. Sol J says, so Lori at Humble Quilts blog sells packages of fabric, cool variety in the selections. Yeah, that's what I really need to do. Like, you know, color lots or something. It is a lot of work. It is also kind of fun to go through your stuff. Oh, that's pretty. That looks, well, that could be machine or hand done, but I think it's machine done because of those the little things at the bottom are like they're not. Oh, wait a minute, they are. Hmm.
They are what? Can you finish the sentence?
I thought they were clipped, which is
No,
a,
they're little loops.
but they are actual little loops. That seems like that could be hand done because it's not blocked. Those little loops are kind of loose.
Mm-hmm.
They would be blocked if they were machine made. They would
That's a
be
thick,
more
that's
obvious.
thick too. That's like 4 inches. Here's one that's tied together but doesn't have anything on it.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty one. It's sort of like a reproduction of like Irish lace, kind of heavy duty.
If you say so.
I'm sitting here acting like I know a lot about lace. I mean, I've taken a
I'm
couple
gonna,
of lace
yeah, I'm just,
classes.
yeah, I'm gonna have to learn some stuff because
I
I
have
don't,
taken some lace classes.
I don't know. This is just cute and tiny.
Oh yeah, that also looks like it's a hand crocheted between two bands of something.
Mm-hmm. You know what turned me on to this lot was in doing the volunteer work that I've been doing with Lynn Bassett, where I'm like, I was originally packing materials, but I've turned into a scribe for her while she's cataloging all of this antique clothing at the Berlin Historical Society. Is we were looking at kind of like, those like white cotton, like day dress kind of things
Hmm.
where they have a lot of like insertion lace
Yeah. Oh, they're
and
so
things like
beautiful.
that. And I was like, when I saw this lot, I was like, oh, that's pretty. Um,
I
This is
just like
very
I like the idea of kind of making your own sort of trim, like that big fat rickrack. Oh,
mm-hmm.
that's pretty. That's like a French type lace.
Yeah, it's just but like this reminds me of like some of the insertion
Mm-hmm.
lace. This one
Yeah.
is purple or lavender. I just keep pulling, going like, please come out nicely, please come out nicely, please come out nicely. Because I did not, this even has like little like beads and stuff on it.
Oh my gosh.
That one just fell off.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like more of a modern bridal lace, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the hell you say. Oh, hey, look, here's
I
one that's,
really don't know for sure. I could tell you better if I had them in my hand, but I still it's a guess in a lot of cases.
so this looks like two different ones, but she's got it wrapped onto a card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of those little delicate laces like that, you almost have to do like a maybe even a fiber sampling on them.
Yeah, you're
Because
getting a little too
well, now I'm
involved
saying
here.
like if you were going to do a project, like you wanted to do a project of like a reproduction garment, that's you'd want to do all cotton. If you were going to do say like a reproduction garment for a museum or for a reenactment or something, you'd want to make sure you didn't have any polyester in there. But there's some of the beautiful little like the little insertion laces. I've bought some on Etsy for a project, and they're made in France and they're quite expensive. But they're really
Hmm.
hard to tell from like the literal antique stuff. In some
Hmm.
cases, yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's hard to tell whether it's new or old, if it's in good condition. And I'm sure like a lace expert would be able to tell you immediately, but my untrained eye just sees very fine cotton lace. Oh, that's cool. I can't quite see what that bottom part is. I can't remember what that's called. There's a
I don't know.
yeah.
You're welcome to come over and help me deal
Oh,
with
you know
all
what I
this.
think that is, and I trigger warning. I think that's called faggoting. It's
It's a
when
nice.
you have two different, completely separate units that are then sewn together, and there's almost like a little bit of a space between them because it's like little embroidery stitches that are like kind of twisted that grab either
Hmm.
side.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an insertion lace kind of technique.
These ones are little hearts.
Oh,
They kind of look like pretzels. But yes, you're welcome to come over and help me. Because some of this too there's some of this that I will have to try to very gently wash. Uh,
you get out the old OxyClean. That looks like some filet lace, some filet crochet. What are those vegetables? What is that? Or flowers?
they're like flowers, it looks like.
It looked a little vegetable-y.
Oh my goodness, this is so teeny. Oh my god, it's so teeny. So we know you'll like it. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's teeny,
Oh gosh, yes. Oh. That's definitely good lace for a doll.
and I want you to see how much of the bag we've gone through.
About half of it.
Yeah, I will not show you the whole bag just so that I don't bore people. Um, hmm, this is pretty.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's like a very fine filet crochet. I wonder if that is handmade or machine made. Fiber sample.
This one's pretty too.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine just the miles and miles of like crocheted lace and tatted lace that got made? Like, I mean, just early 20th century, it was pretty popular. And I mean, all the way up into the 40s, I think there was lots of patterns out there for decorating, pillowcases and stuff like that. Oh, that's pretty. That's like some kind of.
This one's damaged. So that's a shame.
Janet says the fuzzy top would indicate machine made on that last one. Okay. Yeah. I kind of wondered. Um, oh, that does look like that's probably older. And yeah.
Of course, I have some sunlight coming in a window right now that I don't want coming in my window right now.
It's blowing out the the pictures or the lace when you put it up by the camera.
Yeah. All right. We will stop lace for now then, because now that there's some sunlight
Quilts, quilts, quilts,
indirectly,
quilts.
yeah, we can look at some other stuff. But yeah, so I feel like this is quite a project to, measure and maybe soak a few of these and get them on some cardstock. But yeah, I thought it would be something different to offer for people that
Mm-hmm.
like to make things or refurbish things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always on the lookout for stuff like that. Just in my work, of course, the challenge with finding big beautiful bags of things is that I end up with big beautiful bags of things that don't get very much use because I work so small now. So Janice said, my mother-in-law hot glued miles of lace and trimmed to photo albums. At nauseam. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. The photo albums and scrapbooks with like the fabric covers. Yes. Oh my gosh. Bless her heart. Those are so awful, but I'm sure they brought her lots of joy. And that's probably back in style now because the or not the millennials, sorry, Gen Z and I guess, what are we calling the newbies? Gen A. Anybody born in this century is Gen A.
Hmm.
Yeah, those people are, I guess, the very early, people born very early in this century can rent a car now. So isn't that
I
terrifying?
actually I actually saw this reel yesterday where they were interviewing youngsters and being like, how old, like when would someone have to be born to be considered old? And these kids were saying, I
The
don't know.
1900s.
Well, no, someone said that the late 1900, like 1990. But some people were saying like, I don't know, like 2005.
2005 is a person who's not even old enough to drink yet, so that's not old.
Well, it also really just goes to show you, like, I guess I kind of understand how they're feeling because for me, I always feel being born in the late, you know, 1980s and having my teenage years, in the early 2000s and stuff. To me, the 70s was always like 30 years ago. And no matter what, it always feels to me like the 70s are 30 years ago. Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, by the
even
time you were a
now, it feels like the
teenager.
70s are.
I mean, by the time you were a teenager, yes, because when I was 13 when you were born, like, I was getting
And
ready to go
now,
to
and
high
now
school.
I'm about to turn 40 and you're 13.
Yeah, well, I mean, inside, I've always been 13. The outside, it's questionable. Yeah,
All
but
right.
isn't that funny? I saw something from some Gen Xer that I follow on Instagram or something, and she said, "Think about it, Gen X. You were a generation, and I mean this goes for really anybody older than me, but you have lived in two different centuries and two different millenniums, whatever." And I can't remember what all the other things were, but I was just like, oh my God, that makes me feel so old. Yes, I do remember dial up and I remember rotary telephones.
I remember both of those things too. Thank you.
Well, I think
Miss, oh my
millennials.
God, I'm so much older.
Well, but the thing is,
Ugh.
millennials do generally remember those things too. You guys do remember a childhood where not everything was so technological.
I remember a childhood with no technology, no cell phones. My parent, is this gonna be sturdy enough? Hold on. Let me change how we're stacked here. Um, my parents did, get a cell phone, a car phone back when.
Oh, one of the car phones in the bag kind of situation.
Like the kind that like had like it was like shaped like a telephone and it like connected to your car and like
You had to put the antenna. Yes, one of my girlfriends had one of those. I when I first moved to Maryland, her parents had gotten her one because she was moving. She came from Wisconsin and she was moving from, the Midwest to Baltimore of all places. And
hmm
her parents were
hmm
like, "You will have a car phone and we're paying for it." So I always thought she'd be like, "Get the bag." She had to make an important call, and I was like, and it was usually things like we had overstayed our lunch and we needed to call our boss and let her know. Get the bag.
All right. So this lighting looks halfway decent,
Okay.
right? Okay. So let me
We have a great view of Jill's window treatments, which I have to say are very classy, as
I
well
just
as her
can't
big
take I
bookshelf back
can't
there.
I can't take credit for them. They came with the house.
I am also jealous of your bookshelf back there because I need something like that, and I just do not have an open corner for it.
Sunday built that for me. Also, that light fixture is antique and original.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like
So
it. Well, this looks like
okay.
a well, from this range, it looks like an Aladdin's lamp kind of thing. I'm sure it's more
Yeah.
of a.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
Because
It's kind of
with
like
that.
a
Yeah.
a tureen
Yep.
sort of thing, a gravy boat.
Yep. Yep. Oh, okay. It looks like the one we're gonna start with was one of the nicest ones of a recent buying.
I am going to, just so that we can see these, I'm going to turn our view to speaker view, and I will
Okay.
not make noise because I want to see these like as big as we possibly can. So I'm going to mute myself.
That's good because you often just can't shut up. So this is an applique kit quilt. Okay. I might have to like adjust how my thing is sitting, but I'll do my best here to like hold things up. Let me just make my screen bigger so I can see better what I'm doing. View. Okay. While also trying not to step on the quilt, which is always difficult. Okay. Wow. So here's the border. I've never seen this particular quilt. I actually don't think I've ever seen this particular one. Sorry, I need like four more people.
Yeah, you
And
do.
hangs. Here's the center, and then all those baskets go in the round.
Oh, this quilt is beautiful. I don't recognize this one either. It does look like a kit
Yeah.
quilt to me, but I don't recognize it.
Yeah, it's definitely a kit. And then the quilting on it is just I don't know how well let's see that that'll show up, but let's there we go. Can you see the little flowers in the corner quilted?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the quilting's just very cute. There's little flowers and it's never been washed. There's still pencil lines on it.
Oh, I could see that there's like feathers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, this lighting's doing pretty good for me. And I can't read the chat, so
So Janet says, "Love this quilt, and the basket handles are unique." So yeah, they are because they kind of come like a little point, sort of. They're almost like heart shaped, like an upside down heart shape.
mm-hmm. And then
That is a really really cute quilt. I would like to know what that, it looks like late 20th century, like it could be from the 70s maybe. Just those colors, but it could be earlier.
I yeah, I suppose it could be. It doesn't feel that late to me, but
Okay, so it could be like the 50s. Yeah, I don't know. That bright orange and yellow always tricks me a little bit because I you could find quilts with that in the 40s as
yeah,
well.
I mean, um,
And that green gives like that 30s and 40s vibe too. So,
Yeah, we'll have to, have to be some research, or I'll have to send a picture to our friend Mary Kay, who'll just be like, it's this person, this year, this date. Here's the week they sent out that pattern. Like she'll just be able to call it all right off the top of her head.
So Janet has a suggestion: count to three when you show a section, because that gives the camera time to do its focus.
Okay. There are some that just really aren't that exciting. This one's just cute. Very soft, so somebody very much loved it. Um, it's not the best workmanship. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one that someone opted to repurpose. So lots of machine work here, and someone really wasn't paying any attention to their attention.
Oh, gnarly.
Yeah. But the piecing and the fabrics are cute.
I like that. And I like how it is a little wonky, and like that center is kind of
Hmm.
haphazard, but that's really charming.
Hmm. This is one that I would potentially like if I purchase it, I wouldn't be afraid to put it on my bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that
It's got
one.
Yeah, it's just sweet. All lots of scrappiness. I think let me just look real quick. I think they're pretty much all the same. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like all the centers are pieced like that. So I'm guessing they made them into they made them in quadrants and then put them together.
It's three blocks by
I mean the
three
actual
blocks.
the Dresden, or I mean it's kind of a Dresden.
Oh, the Dresden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each one
Sorry.
they put that centerpiece in instead of making a complete circle and then doing the circle in the
Yep,
center.
I can see now looking in the circle that yeah, there's four
Yeah,
pieces to
Janet
it.
said those red strips jump out at you. Are they red? Are they orange? That like kind of it's like a reddish print, a red and orange print.
This right here.
Yeah,
It's an orange and black.
yeah, it does jump out. But I like the way they've made an attempt. Oh yeah, I see some fabrics in there that look like probably the 50s, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one's very cool. I know that
But
there's
this
a variety of reasons. I know that you're not going to reveal on the interwebs like where you got each quilt, but we got to talk afterwards because I'm so curious about this batch right here.
I really like the backing fabric on this.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, like a kind of like a shirting
Hmm.
conversation print. I don't remember what the inside of this one was. It was I oh, um, there's it's like 22 quilts or something. So it was literally like open, boom, bump. So I didn't really have time to be like, like, oh, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a text and someone is out shopping.
Ah,
So I just need to make sure. Okay, I don't know what that means, but
the
okay.
life of an antique stealer and collector.
Oh, not that kind of shopping, like grocery shopping.
Oh, okay. Sunday went grocery shopping. All right. um.
This is a big hexing.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. And that's that you just showed us the backing on that one.
Yep,
So
which is the same as the binding.
so is that vintage or antique or
Oh, this is antique.
oh okay. I wasn't
Let
sure
me
if
just
those were
there.
reproductions or
No, this is definitely antique. Let me just see if there's.
so
Oh,
it's
there is a separate pattern.
is it kind of medallion-y?
Yep,
Oh,
that's what I was just trying to figure out. Is
yeah, I could see like they've used kind of like the darker ones kind of to create like a border sort of medallion border situation.
yeah. So obviously, I'm not going to be able to give you the best photo here, but let me try to get this on here. See the different
Oh,
borders?
yeah. And I guess those aren't pure white. Those are like a shirting, right? Those the white,
Yep.
the pale colored
Yep.
ones.
Yep. And then the center has a lot of has a lot of paisleys. There's one with like a bunch of double blues. Okay.
Oh, wow. That is a really, really cool quilt. Oh my gosh, I like that.
Yeah, this one's very pretty. And then let me see here.
It
So
looks like
there's
it's pretty
like
big too. Like it's
it
like at
is.
least a
There's
full size.
also there's a glazed green, right? So you can you can see the
Oh
glazing.
my goodness, yes.
Um, and then oh, this block is really sweet.
Oh yeah.
It's like this like moons and triangles right here.
Mhm.
Um,
It
oh,
looks like
here's a bunch of indigos
they had a
with an
really
with orange.
oh, I love the crescent. Oh, I love that
Mm.
crescent indigo. Um it seems like they had access to a lot of different prints.
So, from where this came from, there was some original thought it could be a charm quilt.
Okay.
In my opinion, they wouldn't have had enough time to fully ascertain that, but um, anything's possible. There's one down here that's a bunch of mourning prints.
At the very least, this may have been made by a person or people that had some like mill connections, right? So they could get their hands on some. Presuming
Yeah,
this is
or
from Massachusetts.
yeah, I have no idea where this is from. Oh, here's some cute conversation prints.
And my dear friends who follow my stream, when are conversation prints from? Those are cute. We looked at that horseshoe and crop. We looked at that. That fabric, I think, is in the Calico
Did
Man.
you look did you look at the little like tennis or badminton?
Yeah, I have a couple of scraps of fabric that have like they're either it's like a cricket bat, I think, and a tennis racket that are kind of crossed. But
Here
the
is
horseshoe
some
and the crop is definitely like I've seen that fabric before.
here's some interesting green.
Oh yes. So this seems to be like this person had oh and that Greek key too. I think
Mhm.
that's a pretty popular one. So this could be I mean, would you say that's a centennial green or maybe it's just a
To me, it looks like a centennial green.
okay? So this could be a scrap
But
back
there
from
are some other greens that are apparently like they're like the same shade, but apparently it's earlier. I had recently learned this from a mass quilt documentation that I was volunteering on. I just haven't had the chance to kind of follow up
we need
on some of
like
that.
so you guys know like it's I think it's mostly people that deal in like print like physical print. Um, I know graphic designers it used to be a thing, but the big Pantone. Do you guys remember these? They were like they look like the strips that you buy for like the paint strips that you buy in at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. But they're they're bound together in like a block, and you kind of fan them out, and you'd use them in selecting like specific colors. That was like a
Hmm.
Pantone thing. I feel
Hmm.
like we need a Pantone of quilting fabrics. So you could tell the difference between Centennial Green, whatever if there's an earlier green, Nile Green,
Mm. Kelly
blue,
green.
a blue and yellow overprint.
This would also be like for archaeologists, there was this thing called like the Munsell charts, which was for dirt.
Ah, yes. So like the what the strata, the layers. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. All right, so that's it for that bag. I'm gonna grab a couple things off that there. Wow, I am not pointing right there. It's really weird. Um, and then I'll potentially go to my car.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yay. You never know where you're gonna find a quilt at Jill's house.
Ah, if you think I'm bad, someone else's house I was recently to is far worse.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard a story about one of our colleagues who's been collecting for quite a while, where she lost her phone while she had some people over looking at quilts.
Oh, that's
She
funny.
lost her phone and couldn't find it, and the challenge being nobody could call it because, alas, she had it on silent. Because she had people over.
So this is from the same auction where I got the lace,
Ah.
and this is a candle wicking.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I'll need to get some water because I'm already having.
Okay. So this is like 20th century type of candle wicking.
But it's cute.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely adorable.
Um, and it was like really cheap.
They paid you to take it, right?
Yep. Yep. This is this is a top that had a lot of, you'll see why I like this. It has had a lot of like plaid type
Oh, yeah.
things in it. And it's funny, when I looked at this auction, they did have, a few quilts and I was like, "Yeah, I'm here for smaller stuff."
Hmm.
And then the quilts weren't like doing anything and I'm like, "Hello?" Like so I was like, "All right, fine. I'm not going to open this all the way up, but I like this because I like the unusual sashing fabric."
Yeah, that is very cool. And is it generally all of those stripy, plaody sort of for the blocks?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Like
And
the
then that
saloon.
flowery sort of. Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
I would love all those different stripes.
Mhm.
I'm not as much of a plaid person, but I do love stripes and polka dots. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, little doll quilt.
Oh, so it's a doll quilt, not a block. Oh, I see. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, very cute. Those fabrics are lovely.
Mm-hmm. And I really like the backing fabric. This one on the front too with the blue. You know I love me some blues.
Hmm. So what decade ish do you put this in? Like 18.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I barely even looked at it.
Yeah, I feel like those, at least on the corners, maybe those are like 1890s, maybe 1900.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
thinking
gonna have
about
to.
Eileen Tristane's book I was looking at the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some deep dive.
flurly swirlies. Sometimes
So this quilt I haven't even opened. But on the back here,
I see some lovely quilting.
well, there's stuff work.
Yes! Oh my goodness, yes, those are trapunto holes. We
Yeah,
don't
and you
see
can see
those very
some
often.
coming out right there. And this backing has a glaze.
Yes, and that's why we see those holes. Because that's a tightly woven fabric. They should have used a more loosely woven fabric on the back to make those holes go away. But when you use that tightly woven, you can actually pop some of the threads as you're stuffing.
Okay, so the front is silk. Yeah.
Wow. Stuffed silk. My goodness.
And some of it's some really, really fancy looking silk.
And so did this come from that auction or?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That is really pretty.
Yeah, it's got, and this fabric has like I don't know what you call that. Can you see that weave in there? Like
Mm-hmm. It's like
what
a
do you,
like a tweed or like a
oh, I'm trying to catch the light just right.
yeah, it's like it's there's a lot of glare because it's shiny.
See how I can, does that
Yeah,
catch
I
it?
could kind of just around the edge sort of see it.
But you
It's
can
like a
see how stuffed this leaf is.
Yeah, LJ said the fabrics have held up well. Um,
Yeah, they have. Um, oh yeah, there's stuffing. Well, there's all kinds of. I'm just trying to move this carefully because I heard a couple of pops.
mm,
Um, okay, so there is a block here where a black silk has really like just gone. Um,
yeah, the black and the brown silks were just like black and brown fabrics.
all right, so there's definitely some fabrics that are not healthy. Okay.
Oh my goodness, and there's tiny. Oh, I want to see the piecing in this thing. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. And those little blocks, those are so interesting because some of them are pinwheels and some of them are not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I this was one of the ones where like nothing was happening on it. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
their photos weren't fantastic. I'm just trying to look if there's like another. There's a New England study group event coming up, and this I think will be one that I bring.
Oh, okay. Would be
Um,
interesting to know if, what other people think about it once they look at it closely. I mean, in some ways, it almost seems like scrappy, but then I'm wondering
yeah,
have some
just
of the
like
color
look at
changed?
this border,
Mm-hmm.
like this edge that came on, and then it's kind of like it's cut off.
Yeah,
But then this is all stuffed.
yeah, that is so interesting.
And then like here's that border, like all this stuff is stuffed.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, you just don't know with something with silk. I mean, like even people that are wealthy and have the means would, I think, still be respectful of the fact that silk's expensive and they're not going to try and waste
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So you kind of wonder like what was the
I think
thought
it's like a
process.
dressmaker.
Yeah, I mean, what's the thought process in the creation, right?
Yeah, I mean it is pretty scrappy, so who knows? Maybe it's a dressmaker. It's like really scrappy, not like amazing piecing, but then they were like, we're gonna razzle dazzle it up with some like stuffed work in the quilting. So yeah, that was one of those things where like I'm looking at it online, I'm like, they're saying stuffed work, it kind of looks like it, but like I don't know, because they often don't know how to photograph that stuff. And then I get it and I'm like,
Gasp.
yeah, like do they know what they were looking at? Like I'm gonna go with no.
On one hand, like I feel like those situations are very double edged in my heart because I'm like, good for me. They don't know what they have, ergo I
Mhm.
get a good deal on it.
Mhm.
But how sad for them that they didn't realize what they had, you know?
That's true. All right, I'm gonna turn my camera off for a minute because I'm going to go
All right.
get some water and I'm gonna go outside and get some more quilts.
I'll change her.
And I'm also just like, where am I gonna put all these quilts? Be right
Cindy's
back.
Cindy's gonna come back and the house is gonna be like buried under quilts again. Now that they have just gotten organized when they had company. I love it. Um, oh, those are some pretty cool quilts. And it's funny that so I'll tell you guys a story. I don't think we've told it before. So our friend Alicia at the Virginia Quilt Museum, executive directors will often hear from people that I mean, you guys can imagine. Somebody's got a quilt, a family member has died, they've discovered this quilt. They are not quilt people themselves. They don't know what to do with it. It looks like it's old, it's been around forever. So they'll approach a museum or a historical society. And sometimes these entities will be like, oh my gosh, yes, please. Most of the time, they're kind of like, eh. Or they might sell it in their gift shop if it's kind of like a vintage quilt or something like that. Well, Alicia had this guy that stopped by, like, and I think it was a situation like, holding a trash bag and had this quilt. and was like, "Do you guys want this quilt?" And Alicia's like, "Well, let me look at it," and she's like, "There are no guarantees, you know." And it turns out this quilt, and he basically said, "Well, if you don't want it, I'm heading to the dump." So Alicia's like, "Put the brakes on. I don't want to see any quilt go to the dump. Let me take a look." Turns out this was like some beautiful, like almost pristine condition quilt from like 1820s, 1840s. I want to say it was probably 1840s because it was like a blue and buff, and that blue and like buff color is like a antebellum kind of thing that people made. So anyway, she was very excited to get this. Basically, like, found this quilt on the front steps of the museum, and in cases like that, I like I just said, when Jill was talking about this auction house, nobody biting, they didn't take good pictures, they didn't know what they had, etc., etc., etc. I feel bad in situations like that, but when a family member is just going to be like, "I'm on the way to the dump if you don't want this thing," I'm kind of like, you get what you paid for. If you're going to give me this quilt and I'm sitting here telling you it's valuable and you're still going to be like, "If you don't want it, I'm taking it to the dump," then you get what you deserve. And I get this beautiful, wonderful free quilt. So Alicia was very excited to get that quilt.
Oh, you're telling the Alicia story.
Yeah, I was telling the story about the quilt that the guy was like, "I'm on my way to the dump if you don't want this quilt." And she was like, "Ah, it's from the 1840s, maybe. Ah." So yeah, in situations like that, it's like, thank goodness they thought, the man thought to like just drop by the museum. Because can you imagine the situations where literally people are like, "I don't have any more energy to clean out all this crap. Just clean out the linen closet, throw it all away." That happens a lot. Ooh.
This is a crib quilt.
Oh, she's pretty. I love it. Oh my goodness, that's a very pretty little quilt. So get closer. Let me see. Are those polka dots? Yes, they are. Oh, what a cute quilt. Oh, it's the backing. Is that like another blue?
It's a blue. It's a blue with a white and red polka dot.
Oh, that is a charming little quilt.
Isn't that just cute?
Little cradle quilts and little baby quilts, they're so sweet.
And these actually came from the estate of another
Oh, LJ asked, is there
dealer,
a date on that one? Do you have a,
1880 to 1900.
yeah, that was
These
my guess.
um these, these ones came from a deceased dealer, someone I've never heard of. Um their tags are still on them.
Ah, okay.
So this one patch on the diagonal, Amish crib quilt, diamonds and crosshatch quilting, somewhere in Indiana, 1940.
Without a reference to where the maker or relatives are buried, it's not an Amish quilt. We're just repeating what our dear friend in Pennsylvania tells us. There's only so many Amish people. It's an Amish style quilt. We can say that for sure. My guess is if this is coming from a dealer, it probably was, and they got it in Indiana. It might have been an Amish community because there is a Amish and Mennonite.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's 1940, she could have bought it straight from them.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cute quilt.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple.
Very bright and cheery. Would look great on my wall over here.
You don't have enough quilts hanging from your walls.
I have commitment issues. Is anyone really good at hanging crap? Like, I have literally over here, I have a pile of framed things to hang.
Yeah.
I just have serious commitment issues. I'm also afraid of like putting 7,000 holes in the wall. And if someone else wants to come and make the decisions and hang them, cool.
Yeah. Do you guys have do you have the plaster and the lath?
I don't think so. I think they've been redone. It doesn't feel like horsehair plaster. I mean.
Yeah, we've got the horsehair
Um,
plaster with that lath behind it. When you drill through it, sometimes that lath it like flexes, and you never can get the
mhm.
drill through. Oh, it's such a nightmare.
Yeah, that's one of the things. So this is supposedly another Amish crib quilt, circa 1960.
It looks like those are those colors we expect from an Amish. Oh, huh. That's Seven Sisters. Um, right? No, those are 6 points.
No, it's just a no, it's just a 6-pointed star.
Yeah, 6 pointed star. Now that's something I've never seen. Now I don't know. Like you're saying, these are Indiana, so I don't know. But that's I wouldn't. Well, I don't know for sure.
This one doesn't have any origin place on it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what's really interesting though is the back is totally like scrappy.
Mm. Mm-hmm. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pattern just I don't know that I've seen, at least not any Lancaster Amish that use that pattern, but the Midwest Amish are completely different communities. And by the way, I think you guys, I mentioned this on my stream after I went to the quilt turning of the Amish quilts in Lancaster. Um, I was surprised to learn, and I'm like, duh. Lancaster Amish did not use a lot of black. Now, it's not to
Mm.
say they didn't use any, but those, like, when you look at it, the quilts that have, like, the big black border and, like, the cranberry and the blue, that's not Lancaster Amish. That's like, the Midwest Amish that did that.
Mm.
If at all, it's.
So this one is log cabin crib quilt, multi prints with bright blue borders and yellow corners, circa 1880. This one has your double blue.
I love that double blue. That is probably my very favorite. That's cute. Oh, that's really sweet quilt.
I just realized these are small, so I can stand.
Yeah.
Ooh, not that far. Not that far.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, this is a great like scrap, variety here.
Mm-hmm. And those, like, very Pennsylvania Dutchy colors too.
Mhm.
Although
And
I wouldn't
here's like
necessarily say this is
two
Pennsylvania
different
Dutch.
double blues.
Yeah, I like that one, the one that's the dark, kind of little bit darker, because I think it's a denser
Hmm.
print, so it makes it like that.
Hmm.
The blue is a little bit more dense.
And then the back is just a simple like muslin.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple quilting. Again, would look really pretty on my wall over here. Maybe I'll have a crib quilt like
Display.
cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also have, for people that want to help, I my hallway here has huge naked walls. Like the stairway is just a big naked wall. The walls are like a taupey gray. So this one says 9-patch crib quilt with indigo white something print, Ohio, 1880. This one's really cute.
Aw. Oh yeah. It's a nice simple. Is that
Yeah,
Irish?
very,
Is that an Irish chain? Like, is that what
yeah,
that's considered?
very, very simple. Lovely little crosshatch quilting.
And is that a polka dot or is that a star? What is that?
It's a star, and it looks like it's all, let me see.
I love
The,
that
all,
star fabric.
yeah, it's all the same. Let's see here. Just don't want to get in the sun. It's all the same fabric.
Yeah, that's my absolute favorite, like, late 1800s fabric. They had that star, they had the crescent moon. Um, they're just charming, very cute and precious. And you see them all the time. I think the first time I
Right.
ran into those, I thought, there's no way this is old. Like, why would they make fabric with stars on it in 1800s? I was foolish. I had no idea.
In this moment, Jill needs a break.
Okay.
I'm getting. So I'm gonna move you back over here. I'm gonna close this blind where the
Yeah.
sun is just.
It's unfortunate when you don't have somebody helping. Your arms get very tired. Folding, unfolding, holding up. It's a young person's game.
Yep, I'm just. Oh, it's time for a hot flash. So yeah, so my back seat, despite pulling two trash bags out,
Still
is
full.
still full.
Yeah, because your one haul was like 20 quilts, isn't it?
At least, yeah, see this naked wall back here? Yeah. I need to put a quilt hanging something like here.
Yeah, I agree. As a dealer,
Because it's a good wall.
you do need quilts in your house. I
Hmm.
mean, we just came from the ultimate dealer house where she has quilts hung every damn place. Including she's I feel like their bed actually had like a antique chintz quilt on it. Like you sleep
It
under
did.
like
I don't know that they sleep under it. They might have just put that out because we were there. Like
maybe she just stretched it across the bed to hide like what they usually like their regular bedclothes. But I was like,
like their IKEA, like their IKEA bed
their
cover.
Walmart bed in a bag.
I mean, that's what I would use because well, for the one thing too, like I personally wouldn't want to put antique textiles on my bed unless they were washed because
Oh
I'd
yeah.
wake up and my head would be like this big.
Or you'd wake up and you'd like and you're like, oh, is that horse blood? You know what I'm afraid of? So very good family friend. She doesn't know a lot about quilts. She's actually bought a couple of my pieces, um,
Hmm.
but and she has a great. She's actually an art collection, and her mother was a pretty prolific art collector. They have some like really beautiful stuff. But she has this quilt that she said I don't. She's like it came down through the family, but nobody seems to know like who made it, where it came from. But she's like I remember it as a child. My mom said she remembered it as a child, so it's old. Her
Hmm.
mother died in her 90s. Like, mm, I think it's definitely been less than 10 years ago, but it was before the pandemic. In any event, so we're talking like this is an old quilt. Anyway, the last time we visited her, she put the quilt on the guest bed, and I was like, oh no, please no. I don't want to sleep under that quilt because it had, I don't know how else to describe it. And if you've never touched a quilt like this, it had like a almost like a crunchy sort of feel to it. Like the
Hmm.
fabric feels very like old paper. Like it just feels like if you give it the wrong sort of like tension, it's gonna rip. Um,
I would never want to sleep under one of those because
yeah.
my I'm a tugger.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I was thinking. And of course, my husband with his beard, I'm like, oh man, he's going to sand a corner of this quilt just in one night.
It's gonna look like there was like a bite taken out of it
Yeah.
in the morning.
Ow. And yes, and I also am a polar tugger both ways. And this quilt, when I tell you, yes, it had that like old crunchy feel. There was not, and I examined it, I flipped it over. This quilt had not a defect in it anywhere. So beautiful.
Mm.
And I'm trying to remember what the pattern was. I know I
It
have a
was
pic.
nice and crispy.
Yeah, I have a picture of it somewhere, but it was like a yellow. It was that it was definitely 1800s. It was that one of those yellows that it was either a 100-year print or we have a lot of reproductions of it, but and then like just a plain off-white color. But oh, what a beautiful quilt. So I told her, I was like, thank you so much for letting me see this quilt. I'm honored to have slept under it. Do not do that ever again. Do not let somebody that doesn't value this quilt see it or touch it and absolutely never put it on the bed again if anybody's going to sleep under it. And she's like, oh, okay. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
you
so
can't.
appreciative that she pulled it out like it had been in storage and she pulled it out. She was like, I was really excited. I want you to see it. And I was like, oh my God, yes. Thank you so much.
But I could have seen this on your couch.
I could have seen
Um,
this laid out and then improperly put away.
Yeah, like so on my bed right now is a real quilt, like it's made not in a factory. It's made by a friend of mine, and it's like a Lone Star type quilt that I paid her, appropriately for. And I originally bought it from her to hang in my kitchen because my kitchen also has a great wall. And when we toured the house, there was a quilt on that wall. It wasn't real. Um, and when I say not real, like it was just like in a bag made from China kind of quilt. And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, she probably had the right idea because like the kitchen, like cooking gets everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, there's
So
nothing I hang in
you'd
my,
want something that
yeah.
you have to wash, like that you can wash like well. So anyhow, so I originally bought it from her to hang on that wall. Turns out it's too big. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna put it on my bed. And it has been on the bed since then. But I get nervous and we're constantly changing like what the top is
Hmm.
just because I'm like I tug, I move around like and I'm better at my tugging. Like now when I tug, I also lift my foot to help pull things up. And then I think I've showed on here the Bonnie Hunter quilt that I made, the
I
blue
think
one.
so. Yeah.
Um, I was gonna say I can find a picture of it. There's that quilt too, and that's 100 by like a 99 by 99 or 90 by 90, something weird like that.
Yeah, that's a
It's
big one.
massive. And it's I have a king size bed now. I didn't when I made it, but people have been like, "Oh my God, put that on your bed." And that quilt is so seam heavy that I'm afraid I'll tug and like pop stuff. Even though the woman that long armed it is the same one that made the quilt that's on my bed now.
Hmm.
And she was like, you know something, this quilted up really well. And she's like, I really wouldn't be very concerned about your seams. And I had her quilted on the denser side to cover to cover all those seams.
Hmm.
Um, and she was like, you really just have to get over it.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with her. Because
And
yeah,
just
I mean the new fabrics, and again, like you don't have the husband with the abrasive beard, but that's the thing I worry about is just wear on the binding and the corners and stuff. Typically, I mean, if you've got something that's well quilted, um,
Mhm.
and new fabrics, and you take care of it, and you're not subjecting it to light and anything that's gonna abrasion or wear it out. I would not be concerned about it either. You know, I think when you get into stuff that's like sparsely quilted, like this this quilt, these are quilts that my great grandmother made, and the quilting is just an inner, it's inside each of the patches.
Mhm.
So it's there, and there's no other filler in there, and so these quilts are. I mean, it's a utilitarian quilt, but they wear out so easily, and I mean, you can see the binding is all off of this. Um,
Mhm.
but even these, like this quilt and its sister quilts, have been to the beach. I used to lay on them in the back seat of my grandparents' like enormous car, going places.
They're drivable boats. My grandparents
Yes,
had a huge
they never
car.
had Cadillacs. They were Chevy people, but like whatever's the largest Chevy, like all the way to like my grandfather died, I think in 2006, and my grandmother passed away right before the pandemic, so like 2017, I think. Um, but yeah, they had like these enormous cars. I'm like, does Chevy even make these kind of cars anymore? Like, but yes, I even as an adult could almost stretch out in the back seat, and that's these quilts, and they're not that old. They're um, I think we've got from like the 40s to the 60s.
Mhm.
I want to say my great grandmother died. I want to say it was the year I was born, or while my mother was pregnant with me. I can't remember. But this being my dad's paternal grandmother. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can imagine like all the pulling and tugging that these quilts have endured, and they're fine, and they have been washed to
I'm
death.
I'm looking for that picture, but in looking for it, do you guys want to see young Jill?
Oh yes.
I just came across this picture.
You guys will not believe. I'm baby Stephanie's bad enough, but baby Jill. Oh my gosh, this is truly baby Jill. Oh my gosh, look at you.
Hmm.
Your
This is
hair is so long.
this is preschool.
Oh my goodness, your hair is so long.
I know I why my mother decided to do that is beyond me.
And the bangs.
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, I figured
Look at that
I
Felipe dress.
would- Yeah, it's like I'm training to be a candy striper or something.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're adorable. Well, yeah, I mean, we just
Um,
let's see. Can we show right, Jan? Jan says you're cute. Let's see.
Can we show up?
Oh, it goes away.
Okay.
Let's see. Can I still show it? I don't know if I can show gallery, speaker, multi-speaker. Yeah, it's not going to show with me turn. I hate that they've done this. Because I do sometimes
Sorry.
like to see, especially when we're in larger, like some of the online quilt study stuff. A lot of people don't turn their camera on, but it would be nice if you could go to a view that has, like, I mean, technically you can. It's down, I think it's like down here, but just to have everybody on the screen, even if they're just an icon. Yeah. LJ says great image. um, yeah. So the picture that I use on my Zoom is at this point probably 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I need to switch it to like my current, like I do have a professional picture that I use.
Can you prove that?
Can I prove it? My
Yeah, like can you show us?
my professional picture? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will show you right now. Because it is in, if anybody's gotten an email from me, has seen it. Oops. Ah, where'd it go? Make sure that I'm not showing off anything in my email that I don't want anybody to see. Sorry. You guys see that? That's my professional picture right there. I realize it's tiny. I'd have to search for.
Oh, okay, yes, I have seen that one.
Oops, that came along with it.
What was the oops part?
That was our the live stream windows and stuff that I keep up. Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I was just reminded of here? You told me you hadn't seen my other new glasses.
I haven't. I was just thinking about that earlier. Every time I see you now, you've got those glasses, which are very cute, but I haven't seen the other ones.
I'm a creature of habit with crap like that.
I am too.
And it's just what ends up being. Okay, hold on.
Oh, she's gonna have a big reveal. I haven't worn any of my funky glasses lately because these are bifocals and all of my old cool funky glasses are not. And like I'm trying to read to you guys and I can't see. Did you?
All right, ready?
Okay, I was gonna say, did you not have them right there? Okay, do a drum roll. Oh, those are adorable. I like those.
They're blue.
Very cute. I like them. They kind of have that little.
Mm-hmm. And my dog just pushed my other ones off the sofa.
Yeah, Winnie's
He's like,
I like those other ones better.
yeah, screw these ones. These ones, like, I call these ones, like, like they're a little more, like, sophisticated.
Those are your diplomat glasses.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny is they're so. Do you want to be reminded what the other ones were? They're so different compared to what I had used to be wearing.
Okay, yeah, those. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I used to wear much smaller lenses.
Yeah, I think larger glasses, kind of like, they kind of open your face up. They're, it's sometimes kind of hard to see your eyes if you have the smaller. And I used to wear the smaller glasses too. My challenge with glasses shape is because the shape my face is so round that like the bottom parts will come down on my chubby cheeks.
Yeah, mine's come down on my cheeks.
And I struggle with that. But if I could find the right balance where my eyes are kind of in the middle, I think it just opens your face up and it looks good. So I
I
like both sets of your new glasses. I think they're very nice.
Thank you. Um, I find often if I'm looking back at um thank you, LJ. I think that blue is just
Oh,
right
I
too.
think it's nice.
These ones are like a tortoise of like a purple, a blue, and a green. Um, when if I look at, like past videos we've done, because maybe I'm trying to find a clip or something,
Hmm.
there's this thing where like I'll notice like the way that my glasses sit, right? It'll look almost like it's the top of my eyelid,
Oh.
and it constantly just looks like I'm sitting there like this, like and like not like that my eyes are like open. Like I have to be like cognizant of like how like that people can see the top of my lid so that I don't look, I don't know, weird. Obviously, the setup I have right here is like when we're upstairs, the setup is a little more like that,
Hmm.
but um
You do. I having gone through
the
clips.
struggle.
Both of us sometimes have a kind of look about our face.
Yeah, well, sometimes like if you're talking or maybe you're reading a excerpt or something and I'm just listening, I'm sorry, but I don't normally listen to things like, like I just listen like and then like I'll be watching the replay and I'm just like, God, am I falling asleep? Like
Yeah.
I remember being there and I was like, I was not falling asleep. Like I was literally just like, so for everyone, if you see me like move around and you see me kind of like I'm literally trying to look alive.
Yeah, and that's something that having been on camera so much because of my own stream, but also having done lectures and stuff, I feel like I'm overly sensitive to what my face is doing when other people are talking. So I try to, nod and it's because if you listen too intently, sometimes it looks like your camera froze. So
Mm-hmm.
um
LJ says she's surprised by how much she likes the light colored ones. LJ, me too, especially because like you can't really tell right now, and also like in this room right now, my hair looks really, really dark, and it's not as dark as it looks.
no,
Stephanie can
it's quite,
attest, it's
yeah,
not as dark as it looks.
it's quite a
Um,
color.
but that bright, icy kind of blue looks gorgeous, like when my hair is
Yeah,
down and
it
like
really does. It like I said, it opens your face up. I think those are pretty, yeah, very classy. I don't think they need to be your dress up glasses. I think you can wear them anytime with anything.
no, but like when I hadn't planned on getting like two pairs, and then I was just like, I'm gonna treat me because those other pairs, that other pair, um, I got that pair in I think like let's see, I graduated in 15. So I probably got that pair at the end of 2015 because I was developing these awful migraines and Sunday was finally like, "Have they checked your eyes?" And I'm like, "No." And then that's when I went to the eye doctor and he's like, "So, I don't know what the worst news is, that you need glasses or that your boyfriend was right." Um, so I got them, I'm pretty sure in like the end of 2015, but at that time I only would wear them to drive because that's really the only place I was really kind of having a difficult time. Um, and then I started wearing them full time. Well, I mean, at least as long as since we've been streaming, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think of you as generally a glasses wearer.
So I've probably worn them full time for maybe 3 years now.
Okay,
Um, and it's only ever been that pair of glasses
gotcha.
all that time.
Gosh, I've
So,
had so many pairs of glasses because I've worn glasses since I was
well,
9. So
I was gonna say, doesn't the average glass like Sunday gets a new pair of glasses every year?
because my
or
eyes
every
haven't.
other maybe.
Yeah, my eyes haven't changed. I think usually, unless you've got like an actual eye disease, they usually say just every 2 years, unless your vision like suddenly deteriorates.
Well, but
Um,
I mean, like as a woman, don't I mean I feel like most women glasses wearers I know get new frames like
well,
every other year.
so as a glasses wearer, back in the day, like you would go to the ophthalmologist, and they may have like a lens center, in their
Hmm.
office. They usually do,
Yeah,
but
mine
it's
does.
often very limited set of lenses. And then there, became places like Lens Crafters. I got a pair of glasses from Lens Crafters like when I was a freshman in college, so they've been around a long time. But then these other ones like Doctor's Vision Works and America's Best, like all of those are really kind of more of a new phenomenon where you have more of a selection of eyeglasses. And I mean, honestly, I pay as much now for glasses as I did, back when I was in college. So you can imagine, $150, $200 for a pair of glasses, and that's cheap now. Um,
And that's not even the lenses.
yeah. So, the cost. I had one pair of glasses I had for 15 years, but I also wore contacts most of the time. So,
I did also get contacts, but I have them. I just found I didn't get them this time around just because the first ones I bought, they're like, you want a whole year and they're dailies. I'm like, just do a quarter of the year because I don't know how much I'm gonna wear. I wore them like once.
yeah, I used to wear contacts every day, but as my job became more and more computer centric, when I was standing up doing training facilitation, no big deal. Contacts and
Because you blinked like a normal person.
yes, and I loved to be able to have sunglasses. Sunglasses were a big deal. I mean, that was a lot of why I wanted contact lenses, so that I didn't have to like squint in my glasses outside. I started wearing contacts when I was about 13, I think. And back then they were not disposable. You kept the same pair of contact lenses for ever, and like every day you have to clean them off. um, but yeah, as just I went from training facilitation to training design and development, like the time spent in front of a computer, like there was just no way. And now needlework, I cannot do needlework unless I have bifocals or literally like nothing, and I'm like sewing like this, which is not good. That's should not be happening, but it just is what it is. So yeah. So for those of you, and I know a good number of you do needlework, do you guys, as far as those that are glasses wearers, is this something that you struggle with? Have you had luck with contact lenses? I feel like as a rule, people that do, especially handwork and stuff, generally don't enjoy contact lenses because you don't have even contact lenses that are considered to be like bifocal gradient type.
Hmm.
I've never actually had those because they have to sit in your eye a certain way. Um, I know that those are not super, like people don't, I think, have good luck with those and like small close up work. Um, yeah. And actually, as I've been just absolutely immersed and obsessed with tiny things, and I've looked at artists that are doing very small work. A lot of them wear those like those heavy duty kind of like magnifying visor kind of things, and I'm like, oh god, do I need that? I'm just
Yeah, I think you need that.
I'm afraid one day I'm just gonna like flat out go blind. I'm gonna wake up one morning and be like, ah, I'm blind. I mean, I don't know what I would do. That would be like the worst thing. Hands and
I
eyes.
just realized that it's 10 of 4. So if I'm gonna show you anything more, I better get on it because the
Yeah.
sun's gonna set in like -3 minutes.
Yeah. And any second now I'm gonna be craving a sandwich. So
Yeah, what else is new?
I didn't get a
So
chance to get my chicken.
this one is a cutie. So I'm gonna show you in small pieces because it's all the same fabric. Um, but I really like this little red and black and white print.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
reminds me
cute.
of like a mosaic tile floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know how well you'll see it far away. So this also has just some really cute. Let's
Ah,
see how
LJ
I
has
can.
the binocular glasses and she loves them. Hmm. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Come on, can you see that star?
I can see, yeah, that there's
It's,
something there. It's
it's
kind
like a
of,
sunflowery, starry type
yeah,
quilting.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to like get the light just right.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see, but I mean, I can see that it's some quilting there. Pretty, yeah. What
Yeah,
is it?
it's like a
Craft
sun.
Optics. I'm not sure, LG. I know I've heard of them. I know that there's like
Oh,
a big
people
company.
really, those are the expensive ones that like are heavy, like the people think they're
Well,
amazing.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like optics, optical, the ground lenses and all that stuff. Like that's not cheap stuff. Yeah, saves your neck, eyes don't get as tired. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. Like when you're having to hunch over versus being able to just sit up and have your work like at a decent distance from you, it really makes a
I
difference.
have prism glasses and I've used them to read a book. It's so weird, but it's really cool.
Well, we're not talking about prism glasses, but yes, also prism glasses are another one. The
Yeah, so
prism glasses are the ones that literally has a prism, and so you're looking straight forward, but this prism thing is having you like it's reflecting what's in your hands. It's
yeah, 90
such a
degrees.
weird experience, but those are different
So
than what LJ's talking about.
so this is just a pinwheel block, and then the alternate block has this like sunflower quilted into it, which you probably won't see when I hold this up.
Very striking though, that pattern of
Mhm.
pinwheels. Oh, I love that. Good pinwheels.
All right, if it looks like I'm freezing, it's just because I'm holding, like Janet mentioned.
Oh wow. And I love the secondary pattern that gets created.
Hmm.
Very
This is
cool.
very, very nice and soft and thin.
Oh, so that's probably why Craft Optics is so expensive because they will take your prescription.
Oh,
So it's essentially like what microscopes for your eyeballs essentially that's based on your own eyeglass prescription. That's pretty cool. That's why they're expensive because they're actually very good is my guess. Oh, I see some red and white.
yep, for the holiday season.
Ah, those are cool. Now, what a perfect place for signatures or something. I'm guessing there are no signatures in this one, though.
Doesn't appear so.
Yeah. But they look just like picture frames. Like there could be like
Yeah.
yeah, something in the center there.
This one has the binding a little bit beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm looking through where I can see
Oh.
um
Um,
the bedding. There is so much cotton debris in here.
oh, you could feel the knobby.
Oh, no, I can see
Oh, see
it
it?
too. Hold on. Let
Yeah.
me see if I put if I just trying to think like is there
Can you get it
let
up
me see if
with
I
enough
can get you guys to see
light
it too.
shining
Hold on.
through it?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to turn the camera around.
What this was called? Oh, I can't remember what they call this. It's photography through a light. Dr. Dutton did it with a couple of quilts.
Are you able to see all that, all those dots?
Yeah, I could see some dark dots. Yep.
Okay.
So with our experimental archaeology, we discovered what our supposition, and we are absolutely correct, is that when people say like, "Oh, there's still cotton seeds in here," well, they're not cotton seeds. It's just the debris from cotton processing. They haven't done a good job of getting all of that debris out. That's what it is. And it sometimes it's the bottom of the cotton like literally has a little nub on it that they don't get brushed out. LJ says those glasses come with a light attachment as well. So you're cyborg. I am here too. So
Does it also, I mean, it could really be worth the money if it also happens to like do your laundry.
Well, I think if it
This
gives you bionic eyes, that's pretty cool.
I like the backing of this quilt. It's like a ticking kind of fabric, and it's like a
Oh yeah.
light purple stripe.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. I mean, it's. I would say that's a shirting, but yeah, it is like kind of a ticking
It
pattern.
feels like a ticking though.
Oh, so it's heavier. It's not that
Yeah,
light kind of.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's heavier. Yeah.
I do know
Um,
that ticking came in a number of colors. I actually read something. I don't know, and I don't remember where I read it, but they talked about. It was probably one of the books, one of the history books we were reading.
oh, I remember too. This one had a very cute quilting pattern in the sashing that's like a chain, like but like a. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Like a literal chain, not just
Yeah.
that swirly pattern called
Yeah,
a
like
chain,
a
but like
long
it's literal
chain.
links.
Yep.
That's wild. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I haven't either. Still has the pencil on it.
And it looks like it's I mentioned I think while you were out talking about when I was talking about Alicia's quilt, the buff and blue. This looks like it's got a little bit of that going on, but oh no, there's that red in there or pinky. Very nice, very nice.
Mhm.
Simple hourglass block. That's what we call this.
Yeah, done in strips.
I like a strippy quilt.
Yeah, this is just a very like kind of summery looking. It's a little heavier than a summer quilt, but the colors for me give me some summer vibes.
Yeah.
There's some cute shirtings, checks. There's a morning print. It's got oh, it's got blocks and on each edge, on each side are half blocks too.
Oh, I see. Yeah. LJ likes this one too.
Yeah, this one's just very I really like this shirting right here.
Oh, yes. The polka dots. Who doesn't
They're
love a
not polka
Oh, or is
dots.
it like a little teeny tiny like little
Like it's like a three
fleur
circle.
sort of thing? Oh, I see. Yeah. Yep. Oh, but gosh, it reads as a polka dot.
Yeah, from far away. Yeah, there's a green. Let's see. Here we got like a green check and a blue check.
Now, is that the like yellowy sashing? Is that like a stripe? Or is it like a
It's a check.
texture? Oh, it's a check. Okay. Oh, love it.
Yeah, it's a check. All right, this is the last one because we're really losing the light here. But that means there's more for another time.
I know.
Oh my goodness, look at how cute. Oh my God, look at how cute this print is. Oh, I like that one too. Oh, you wanted polka dots? Here's some polka dots.
Hi, Candace. Yeah. So, Jill, did you have a date on that one? You just that one? Is there a date?
I,
I was gonna say turn of the century, but it's hard to tell.
yeah, it can be so hard to date checks.
Yeah.
They're more of a woven,
Hmm.
and
So,
there's a plaid here. But no, I was just gonna say this fab. Oh my God, where did it go?
so you
Oh,
said
this
there's a morning print. So,
there is a morning print. It could also be a deep scrap bag.
hmm,
Look at this print.
yeah, that blue and black. I mean, it's different than that backing on that other one that we looked at, but it's kind of similar.
Hmm.
Yeah, Candace, I would say that this one is probably really pushing into antique. Just my guess, and not even literally being there and handling them, but I think we find that those that well checks and plaids and stripes and polka dots are so difficult to date. But yeah, that total combination kind of says to me like 1900s, 1915.
Yeah, without like really looking
And this is a big one too,
into
right?
some
This is
stuff.
like big bed size.
No,
Oh
no, it's
no,
like a twin.
not too big.
Yeah,
Okay, twin size.
yeah. But also, hi Candace. Like, are you new here?
Yeah,
I don't know that I've
welcome.
ever seen you.
Hope you're having fun. Stick around. Come back.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking like if you are
Bring your
new, like
friends.
Like, tell us where you're new from. Like, how did you find us?
Yeah.
Just
What
got
is
really excited and thought that this one had a signature on the back.
it's
This is what tricked me.
what is that? Oh, is
It's
it
just
a mend or
it's
something?
yeah, it's just some stitching.
Hmm.
You can really see the quilting on the back of this one. I don't know if you will, but let's see. Like
Yeah, it's
tilt
hard to
it.
see. It just kind of. Oh, there it goes.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. So that's looks like a star to me.
It's a flower.
Okay.
It's a flower inside a wreath. There's some other flowers that are hearts. So let's see this. Oh, okay, another two color. It's a little bit of damage there. Some fading. Oh yeah, so it's a mend along they tried to mend it along the lines of darning.
Hmm.
But some really cute quilt wow, some really cute quilting.
So is it just two colors? It's just blue and white?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a blue and white. This one has a couple of areas that are unfortunate. This is a nice thin one, but
Ah, so Candace says we popped up on her live feed south of Atlanta, and she's been quilting for almost 3 years.
oh, well, lovely
Yeah,
to see you,
welcome.
Candice.
We are. This is one of our. This is one of our just kind of free for all days where I should be
Mhm.
stitching, but instead I am glitching.
Well, you were the one who was like, if you're going to show quilts, that means I can stitch. Are you stitching?
You know, I have pinned one piece of fabric. This, you
Yeah,
guys know this.
so
This happens all the time.
don't try to blame your not stitching on anybody but you.
Oh yeah, it is totally me. Um, so yeah, they're gigantic blocks. Is it
Mhm.
Puss in the Corner? Is that like
No, it's just an uneven nine patch.
okay?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's a Puss in the Corner.
really?
Hmm.
I thought it was when you had like much different corner blocks.
No, I mean, here we go with any time we're trying to give names to stuff. Because what was it when we're reading A Stitch in Time and it gives like 12 names for one block, and we're like, yeah, but today that's
Mhm.
called economy block.
Hmm.
But I think like Puss in the Corner is usually like it's a 9 patch, but you've got like the center one is much bigger than the corners. Um, so I don't know. I attempt to know my block names, but about half the time I'm wrong. So
You know, the fact that Brackman hasn't turned her book into a phone app.
yeah, I mean it is hooked in with which of the it's one of the quilting.
Well, it's block based, right?
Is it block base? Okay, I couldn't remember. I was like, oh, which one is it? Yeah, I mean, I see that as something that like somewhere along the line somebody could do. I don't know how she feels about all that stuff. I mean, on one hand, she's very technology, pro technology,
Forward.
technology savvy,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's something that is in her plans at any point or not.
Hmm. Yeah, I almost kind of feel like the dealers should get together and make one.
Yeah.
Because, because you know.
Yeah.
That's just because you know.
Yeah. I mean, we struggle with things, I think we all do, and I'm not just talking about us as fairly newer, on the scene, but rather I think everybody kind of struggles because again, this book called it what? I don't even remember the and we're like, well, diamond in a square, square in a square, like economy block. That's what we know it as today.
Um,
LJ says electric quilt might have an agreement. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of EQ, but I'm not sure if they
Now block base is what
block base.
Brackman stuff has, but um, it would be cool, right? You make an app, especially for like dealers,
And
where
you can just
you
take a
can take
picture of it.
yeah, take a picture and it
Mhm.
searches for you. Like these are the most likely
Yeah.
candidates.
So here's the thing, guys. You know what could do a really great job of that with the proper database is AI. And speaking of AI, maybe we can kind of end today talking about this. One of our colleagues, a person I do talk to, periodically, she used ChatGPT, which is the app within ChatGPT or OpenAI is called Sora, is what she used. But it to make an image, and it's a colonial type looking woman working on this sort of medallion-y looking quilt sitting in front of a window. And I mean, you can tell right away. I don't think you really need to, I mean, if you don't quilt, maybe you'd think that this is some kind of legitimate picture. To me, it's clip art. It's great clip art for a presentation. Properly labeled, like I have no issues with that kind of stuff because like, I mean, this is what we live with AI. And the thing is, coming from, I mean, you guys know my profession is instructional design and development, and one thing that was really hard a lot of times in creating training is having like decent looking clip art. You don't always need like a really specific image. It's great when you have, if you're trying to train something highly technical and you have a technical drawing or something, but other times you just need something to jazz it up because my God, training sometimes is awful. And so for the very longest time, I would really struggle with clip art and sometimes have to use garbage clip art because there's just nothing better. Honestly, very happy to have AI, show me, make me a picture of blah, blah, blah. Here's the problems with what you just made me, fix that. And I have some clip art. The amount of graphic designers that have churned out absolute garbage clip art for all of these companies is no different than AI churning out garbage clip art for all these companies. I'm sorry. I am an artist. You could argue with me all day long. I've got thoughts. I will not stop having those thoughts. So anyway, there was a lot of like kind of pushback on this person that I'm talking about. And, one of the things people said was, oh, well, images like that get out and people think it's real. And then we've got a situation like, the Underground Railroad quilt codes and all that stuff. And I'm just like, yeah.
Well, there is currently one going around.
Oh, is there anyone?
Yeah, there's one going around of a bunch of women outside of train cars, and there's quilts all over the ground. And the story they're telling is in such and such an old town, train cars used to show up and women would sell their quilts to blah, 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 blah. And if you look at the photo,
you can tell it's AI.
like, well, yeah, like there's, they're claiming it's, let's say 1900, and then all of a sudden there's this girl in this very 1950s dress.
Right.
And some other stuff, but that's making its round, and it's been virally shared now.
Okay, I've missed that one.
Now believe that story because the photo's black and white and like it looks real. And
yeah, Janet said she saw that one recently, so I haven't seen that one, but I mean, of course, we get that crap without AI. We were, the historical research community has always been fighting against stuff like that. People will put out whatever the heck they want. And so from my perspective is I think that people that want to believe that stuff, they're going to believe what they believe, and we're never going to unring the bell of inaccurate information. But from a historian's standpoint, Janet Diana, she felt
Janet. Janet sent it to me, and I had to be like, yeah, that's not real.
We love you, girl. But from my perspective is people should be labeling that stuff. Obviously, somebody who's trying to pull a fast one is not going to label it. But my point is, if we can really like kind of, again, like put our line in the sand as historians and researchers and say like, look, that's all well and good. Isn't that a great story? But show me the receipts. So you don't have a situation like that. It's great that you have this quote unquote picture, but we know now we can't trust pictures and video. So you need to have like multiple things that prove this. And if somebody is selling quilts off of train cars, there's going to be some other kind of documentation. It's going to be out there, I assure you. So it's not happening. Right, there is no other documentation.
But I would argue like part of the problem here is that the average public doesn't care about receipts.
Yeah, it doesn't. And so that from my perspective, it doesn't matter what we put out there. People are going to believe what they believe.
Sure, but with social media now, it spreads so much faster than it ever did before.
Yeah,
social
absolutely.
Media.
Absolutely. And therein lies some of the problems about society today. Um, I just what I will always fight about is, the hill I will die on is that AI is not the problem. We as human beings are the problem. And you are never going to change people that want to pull a fast one or believe everything that they're told. You're never going to stop that. And yes, I know the problem is AI is so much faster. We can churn this slop out, nonstop. But again, I go back to the fact that slop is being churned out nonstop. If this is something you care about, then look into it. If it's something you don't care about, I personally consider everything I see now to be bullshit until I do like my deep dive. And I don't think you necessarily have to like spend an entire day falling down rabbit holes, but like, a little bit of quick looking can tell you, like, this doesn't sound plausible. I've never heard of this before. I see nothing about it. I'm going to put that in the bullshit category until further notice. And I don't see that as any different than the plethora of all the other stuff. And, yeah, I mean, I just, again, as an artist, and that again, of course, is always the other thing as they talk about, well, AI, from a creative standpoint, scraped up all these artists' work. Yeah, as an artist, yeah, I get that. That's irritating. But it also scraped up all the work of writers, of people that were putting crap on Reddit, people that have, blogs and all this. So AI has essentially stolen from us. We are AI. Like, think about it from a meta standpoint. We are AI. AI only knows what it knows because of us. And so, I mean, I just think there's a point where there's a standard or there's a critical thinking.
Well, so there you go. I think one of the reasons that person was getting pushed back on is because that person is a historian. And don't you kind of think like there's somewhat of a responsibility to not put out stuff that's not real?
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
it was not properly labeled. And now
are we talking about the same? Are you talking about the train car one or the one no. I'm talking about? You're talking about
I'm talking about the one you're talking about.
So you've seen
labeled in the description is not labeled.
Yeah, she did say she had labeled it, and I don't know if it was, well, if it came out of Sora, there is something on it somewhere that it's just hard to see. There is a label on it.
But the point I'm making is now anyone can screenshot that image,
crop it out,
and crop. So that's what I mean. Like, you once you put it out, you can't control what happens to it.
Once Jackie Tobin wrote that horrible book, that bell cannot be unrung. I mean,
that's what I mean. So shouldn't people in the know be more careful about stuff like that?
I do agree with you on that perspective. If it is a matter of you are a historian who has a particular, like Dr. Dunton, I bring Dr. Dunton into every conversation, but my Dunton lectures, there is absolutely no way I would use any kind of AI material in there because first of all, I can find enough like extant pictures. I didn't have photographs of his children, so I just used like silhouettes that were clearly just clip art, and I said that, and I had it labeled as such, like not a picture of his daughter. This is just clip art. So yes, I think as people that are professionals and are, that is very important to either be absolutely transparent. If you have a good reason for creating something through AI, you probably don't have a good reason for creating things through AI. Therefore, you should not use them. But I also think that there is responsible use of AI. And I think a lot of people are railing against AI. AI is not the problem. We are the problem. Mic drop. And just as
I don't totally agree with that statement.
But that's the thing. You are not stopping the progress of AI.
No, and I never said that I was, but
yeah. I don't mean you personally. I just mean the collective you. No, y'all. AI is not going anywhere unless it just turns out to be utter garbage and everybody goes, we don't want this. And that no company is doing that. I mean, every government in the world is like leaning into AI. So we as a society then have to, we have to figure out responsible use of AI, and that onus is back on the governments and the countries. I mean, the governments and the companies and the countries. That onus is back on them. But I think as a people, like it serves no purpose to sit here and say like, oh, AI steals from artists, AI steals from writers. We did this to ourselves. Ergo, we have to be the ones that decide how, because we don't have a choice. It is here, it's not going anywhere. It's like, I mean, you think about the dot bomb, and you of course were an infant at the time, but those heady like pre 9/11 days when there really was no Silicon Valley. There was this like multi-city fight for like where the locus of all of this technology was going to be. And Baltimore, I had only lived in Baltimore a few years, but Baltimore, the digital harbor, this was like such a big deal. And then we have the dot bomb where all the tech stocks blew up, and everybody was a paper millionaire for 5 minutes, and then it went away. But then we got the internet 1.0 is what came out of that. Like with the early internet, not to say that the internet didn't exist before that, but like what we know as the early internet, people building websites, companies building websites, everybody's getting email. Like that's where we ended up landing after all of this hoopla. And I feel like that's where AI is going. I mean, there's already studies that are showing, and there's this hilarious podcast, you guys. It's called Shell Game. I highly recommend it. It's on the second season, but like the first season is very eye-opening. The second season, it's a journalist that he's basically started a company where he's the only human being in the company. And it is absolutely absurd and horrifying what is happening. But this is not the way companies are actually using AI. They claim they are, but they're not. So this is like the Wild West right now. And we need to have, and I fear for the economy. Like, you guys, I don't want to get political but I do fear for the economy and like what's going to happen when these AI, does it burst? What happens? But I think that's almost what we need. And then it settles down and people start to learn like, okay, AI, we have to be responsible about AI. I mean, I was teaching internet savvy research back in the mid 2000s because, people would like Google something and go like, oh, here's the answer. I'm going to write a paper about that. And we're talking like college, and it would just be utter garbage. It's somebody's blog. And so we had to teach people, like, don't do that. If you're going to research a topic, you need to use verified news sources. And here's how to do that. Here's how to look for that. And so that's the kind of stuff I think that needs to come out with AI. And the challenge is it's moving so rapidly. That's where we really get tripped up because we can't take the time to, put the brakes on stuff, analyze. That's really where, the problem comes. So I will die on this hill. I've got many, many, like, I think kind of loose enemies now because I have said I'm leaning in. Do I use AI to make artwork? Absolutely not. Do I use AI to do writing? I get it to give me words when I can't think of a word. Or I think a sentence is stupid. I'll feed it in there and say, like, give me a better version of this. I don't have it write my writing, though. Yeah. Rant over.
How did we even get on that topic?
I don't know. Oh, because I was talking about our colleague's post, and I was just curious to know, like, what do you think? What does everybody think?
So back to that post, and I understand we're not
AI is us until it becomes sentient, says Janet. Yes. And it always comes down to money, truly the root of all evil. Yeah. Yeah.
So that particular post that you're talking about, and I understand it's difficult when we're not showing.
Yeah, I don't want to show it because it was in a private group. I don't want to out somebody for, because I don't think there was anything wrong with what she did. She showed an image she created, and she got some feedback.
Yeah, she just said,
hey, look at this. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was.
I was just farting around, and I made this thing. Like, she wasn't, for me to be clear, she wasn't claiming that like she was putting it in a book or
not
anything like that. She just said, I'm just having some fun. Now, if you do notice on one of the hands, the fingers go all the way back to here. So I always find those kinds of things a little comical. But the issue I was making is that, because you just made the comment that she posted it in a private group. There's no such thing.
Oh, so sure, of course not. Any one of the people screenshot, it's not private anymore. Well, we could have showed
and not even just those people, not even the members. There's just no such thing as a private group. You can make it as, quote, locked down and private as you want, but again, there's really just no such thing. So my issue, I guess, in that sense is to, if you're going to be a historian, I kind of feel that it's a little irresponsible
Hmm.
to make images like that and to post them anywhere on social media.
Hmm. I think,
And I
yeah.
think part of the problem is that a lot of our historian friends that are much older and didn't grow up, you know, with the changing in technology all the time and social media and the this and the that, they don't understand a lot of the implications of some things they could be doing, which is one of the reasons Stephanie and I made a social media presentation for them, was to talk about some things. Um, but I don't know that that group is necessarily always thinking about the fact. I feel the same way, and I'm sorry if I'm calling anyone out, but I feel the same way about people that constantly post their young kids on the internet. um, you can't control what happens. And they didn't grow up that way. They didn't grow up
Hmm.
ever having to worry that any of their life was on the internet that they wanted private. Um, so, you know, I've seen too much of what happens, you
Sure, I
know,
have to. Yep.
and just
Hmm.
when you know photos get taken, or look at the lives of celebrities and things that happen with
Oh yeah, of
photos
course.
of them,
Yeah.
things like that. So I, you know, an image that was just made and like, ah, just like having fun and stuff, it looks like a historical image to someone that doesn't know what the hell they're looking at. And that's when I'm just like, maybe we
Hmm.
shouldn't be doing that, you know, like, or I don't know, a heart surgeon makes a photo of like so and so doing this complicated heart surgery, and all of a sudden the photo gets out and people think that this like life-saving thing is possible when it's not, or you know, just
Hmm.
the the public are nuts when they get their hands on stuff.
I agree.
So
Um,
that's the kind of the part of it that I'm just like, ah, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you know.
I certainly don't have an answer. I am no expert. I read a lot. I would say half of every day, or half of every day. Half of the media I consume in any given day is articles, podcasts, and videos about AI. Just because it is something I am truly afraid of and also fascinated by and interested in using responsibly. There are a lot of things that I think like I hear two sides of the coin every single time about every single thing. But the reason why I'm kind of falling on the side of it's gonna come out like it's gonna, is everybody always going to be happy with it? No, there are still the internet Luddites. We have a family friend who she finally was forced to get a cell phone because her husband died. She did not have, and I'm talking like last
That
year.
sounds like a weird time to get a cell. Like, oh, my husband's dead. I need to go get a cell phone.
Well, he had a cell phone, and of course,
Oh,
yeah. And this is just within the past year. So to imagine somebody in 2025 who does not have a computer, a cell phone, nothing, you're like, who is this person? What rock have they lived under? Like, she's a functioning member of society. I can tell you that. But but I do think that, I mean, there's already solutions coming out. Like, for instance, one of the problems in the U.S. are the data centers. This is massive amounts of energy, water used to cool, like all of this stuff. This is ecologically a real problem, and I'm 100%. I'm like, that's bad. We do not need data centers with their own nuclear reactors because it's the only way to create energy for these things. Like, that's woo. But they're the specific technology that makes generative AI possible. And this is, I mean, let's be clear, we are talking about generative AI. We're not talking about AI as a whole, because guys, we've been living with AI as a whole for a very long time, and you didn't know it. Algorithms are, I mean, even though if you ask the internet, is it algorithm AI, it's going to tell you no, but it is. An algorithm is a type of artificial intelligence. It is building a knowledge base about you. It is using the cookies on your computer and whatever is going on with your phone, listening in, who knows. All of that stuff has been feeding you the ads and the content. I mean, our new viewer, Candace, we popped up on her feed. The algorithm did that, and that is technically a form of AI. Predictive AI has been keeping your credit cards and your bank information safe. This is the stuff that's been happening that we probably don't want to get rid of. Now, do I like targeted ads? I spend more money, but I mean, I kind of do. I find things.
So you have proved that targeted ads work.
Yes, I mean, good targeted ads. Like, I find out about quilting events and textile things. I mean, this is how we find out about stuff, isn't it? So it's like everything technology oriented is a double-edged sword. But so where I was going back to is there's a specific technology that made generative AI so good, like its ability to do what it does, its ability to talk to you like it's a person on the other end. And that specific technology has now been challenged with an even different set of technology that takes that original idea and changes it a little bit, and now it's not so energy heavy. So that's where my mind is coming from. I really think AI will solve some of its own problems. And I know that sounds like, huh. But the point is, AI, whether we're talking predictive AI or generative AI, can find it can find patterns, and it can make connections that humans would really struggle with because of the overwhelming amount of data. So, like, for instance, their medical applications are using generative AI, but they're specialized databases. We're not talking about Chat GPT and scraping up the internet. We're talking about something that takes that basic Chat GPT, because that's what created this human-like ability is scraping the internet, and you take that as the base, and then you put on top of it a very, very customized set of data, whether that's a database. I think in some cases it was like billions of possible combinations of like drug and biological agents that could be tested as like future medications and things like that. And it would take human teams. I mean, from what I understand, it would take human teams like entire lifetimes of all of these people working 24 hours a day to come up with some of the data that AI has come up with, because AI can churn through it really fast. AI doesn't need coffee breaks, bathroom breaks. It doesn't need food. You just turn it on and it does its thing. And there actually have been important discoveries in the scientific and medical and financial banking realms that have been really helpful to us. And so I think that is where, AI is going to solve some of its own problems. And that's where our focus needs to be, is like, ecology is a problem. Accuracy and truth telling is a problem. How do we fix these things? Instead of going like, don't make pictures with AI. Well, don't make pictures with AI. I agree with that, especially, if I'm just training in a corporate setting and I just need a picture of maybe a guy harassing a woman because I got to do sexual harassment training. I mean, I think it is totally okay. I don't think anybody's ever going to complain that I created some AI image of that and it, appropriate and it works. For instance, I don't want to digress too much, but I happened to see the episode.
Are you kidding?
Friends.
You're like, I don't want to digress too much. You made a whole podcast here.
Remember the episode of Friends where Joey meets the woman in the subway station and he asks her out and she's like, oh yeah, and she's like somebody he used to work with, and then all of a sudden she's like, I just remembered, I've got somewhere to go, and he's like, what? And he turns around and it's the big VD ad that has his head. And it's like, there's something that Antonio is not telling you. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's the kind of thing that people might want to avoid. So you could get AI to create, like, there's something Antonio's not telling you, but it's not a real person. I got to do sexual harassment training. Here's Bob harassing Jane. They're not real people. Nobody has to be embarrassed.
So you can be like, I'm a proponent of AI for this use because those times when people accidentally see your poster for VD? You can avoid that today.
But in all seriousness, I think that there are low stakes and non-dangerous ways of using AI to create clip art for you, to create just not important stuff, but it just works. Like, and that's the thing I go back to. It's critical thinking. It's not, I mean, it's not like, oh, you're dumb if you can't figure this out, or you get fooled by AI. It's just a way of retraining yourself. I think about this all the time because 5 years ago, for the most part, if you saw a video, your catchphrase for the longest time when I met you was like, video or it didn't happen. that was like,
Pixar, it didn't happen. Pixar it didn't
yeah,
happen.
Pixar didn't happen, or video it didn't happen. I mean, that's the thing. Like, that was 5 years ago. That was like our barometer. People could tell you something, you could read a tweet, all that, but it's not true until you have like the visual evidence. Well, now we know that's also fraught. So now it's like it's kind of just assuming anything that's said to you that seems like, oh, that's surprising, or I've never heard of that before, or that's inflammatory. Like a celebrity or something like that, or a politician. You look at those things and say, okay, my initial reaction should be take it with a grain of salt until I can vet it. And from my perspective, it's like, if it doesn't matter to you, if it's not something that's important, like, don't pay attention to it. Maybe don't share it if you're not sure, but don't pay attention to it. That's kind of the way we have to be now. And it's about retraining people and about retraining society too. So I don't know that there may not be any solution or any good answer for this, but I do feel, and as rapidly as things are moving, I do feel we are going to have better answers soon. But it is up to these companies and up to governments that are.
And clearly your podcast. Like, I feel like you need to create a new podcast. Like,
I have enough enemies now. As an artist who does not hate AI, I have enough enemies. Trust me. I'm just, my stream is not like all that popular. I mean, I'm so grateful to the people that come. I know it's not at a great time of day for a lot of people, but I don't exactly have like 1 million viewers / listeners. But I always worry one day somebody's going to come after me because I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. AI is not our enemy. We are our own enemies.
great.
I'm dropping the mic again. I'm hungry. And you're like, it looks like nighttime in your house.
Yeah, I'm like, when you started this tirade, there was still sunlightness out. And as you continued, like, the sun has just set on.
The sun has
gone. I'm in the dark.
The sun has gone to bed, and so must
I. Yeah, there were a couple times I was even like, I should get up and turn a light on. She probably won't even know that I'm gone. Yeah. The only light on me is the light from my computer.
Sorry, guys. Oh, Janet Diana says, yeah, and I hate that stuff. It's really, it will be really dangerous very soon. Yeah.
That was when you were talking about targeted ads.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, like, Janet, please don't feel bad about falling for that picture. I mean, it's a learning experience for us. There's a couple of things where I was like, oh my gosh, and then my son's like, mother, please, this is AI. And I was like, oh. But I want that to be true.
Even long before that, there were a couple of, like, I remember a couple archaeology articles that, to be fair, I read the headline and just the first couple sentences, got really excited, and then someone else had to be like, oh yeah, once I actually read through that, it's not what you think it is, and blah, and you're like, but the difference is that when people are confronted with, this is not true, this is not real, the ability to be like, oh, okay, never mind. It's the people that are like, no, it's real, that you're like, oh.
Well, think about those, like, I think, the chain emails and the chain letter kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
Tag 10 people in this story about the poor little Christmas girl in her boots or whatever. Oh, the one about buying the coat, like, oh, all that stuff. Those have been going around forever. There's absolutely not true stories, but people love them. People love them. They're all over Facebook any minute now because it's holiday season. It's all going to be there. And to me, we created that. And I do know, one thing that is a genuine concern is the volume that AI can regurgitate. There comes a point where what it's scraping up becomes not human stuff. It starts to just churn its own. So in that case, AI needs to be able to identify other AI. And AI has capabilities like that wherein we don't necessarily. So I see you're moving. I know you're not in front of me. Hey, this is a Stitch and Glitch, y'all. You know anything can happen. Urban myths, yeah, there's one. There has only been, so here's one. Halloween. You know, I mean, since I was a child, I was still trick or treating as a child when it was all like, take the candy to be x rayed. And, you know, because there's razor blades and needles in the candy. People are poisoning your kids'
Or
candy.
or like all those years there was like, oh, they're putting drugs in your candy, and it's like no
Nobody's
one is spending the money to put
nobody's
drugs.
wasting their drugs on your kids' candy. But
Yeah, they're not wasting their good cocaine in our Reese's. Like,
but I mean that was a genuine concern. Well, the thing is, I mean, in this day and age we can certainly do historical research very easily. There has never been a case, with the exception of one case, of Halloween candy poisoning, and the man was trying to kill his own children for the insurance money. And he poisoned pixie sticks, and the whole scenario, once it was investigated, was kind of like, oh my god, how did people fall for this, and these poor children. And you know, I think one of the children did die. I think, I can't remember. I think one of the children died. He had like friend or neighbor that their children just missed eating the pixie sticks, like didn't eat them. But that's the only, and I want to say that was it was in the early 80s, maybe late 70s, early 80s. That has been the only documented case. And yet we still, many communities only do trunk or treat because they don't want children getting candy from anybody who's a stranger. You know, we still have those things like examine your kid's candy, like, you know, and there's never been any, like, as big as our nation is, there's never been a
yeah,
documented
man,
case.
it's really wild just how feral and wild we were allowed to be as kids.
Yeah. Well, I was
Like
not
we
allowed
used to
to.
just go out. Our parents didn't know where we were. They didn't know when we'd be back. They couldn't reach
I will
us.
say that was not my case. When I was a small child, my parents always knew where I was. Now, when I was a teenager, that's a different story. My parents thought they knew where I was. And
When
yes,
you were a kid, your parents always knew where you were.
yeah, because like I didn't, so I lived in a neighborhood where there were other kids like around my age, but it wasn't like one of those things where, you know, we were rural and just could go off running and playing. It wasn't that way where I lived. And so if I was at like one of the neighbors' house, my mom knew exactly where I was. Um and you know,
So like
yeah.
you never like went off with your friends on your bikes
No, she always knew
and
where we were.
just
Yeah, we always knew. Like I wasn't allowed out of my neighborhood on a bike. Like now my husband grew up much more rural. And so their attitude was like you get home when it's too dark outside for you to see.
yeah, it
Otherwise,
was
do not
always
enter
like
this house.
when the street lights come
Well,
on,
and they didn't
we'd be
necessarily have street lights out there, so it was really more of a case of like you come home
dusk.
at dinner time when it's getting too dark, you need to be home, but otherwise don't enter this house during the day. He was like his parents would be like, "Get out. You need to be outside. You're a boy, go outside." You know, be locked out of the house. I, on the other hand, being a little girl who was an only child, was like, you know, and stranger danger was such a big deal in the late 70s, you know, children being abducted, etc. So my parents were very, you know, I did not run the streets with other kids the way that the 70s is portrayed. Now, at my grandparents' house, did I go in their backyard? I was turned into their backyard after breakfast, and I was encouraged not to come back inside because I needed fresh air. My grandmother could always see me. They had about an acre, but she could always see me. Um, you know, but yeah, I was not necessarily the feral child that many other 70s kids were.
Hmm.
Yeah. I did drink out of the hose though. You know, hose water, spigot water. Oh yeah, absolutely 100%. Don't go and bother your mom or your grandmother for something to drink. Just go drink out of the hose.
Man, there's even, I mean, in the house that I grew up in, there you walked through the garage to like get into the house, and that door, which I don't remember why, but it was such a big deal that like the door was like a steel door. It was heavy, whatever the hell. Like we lived in a place with like tornadoes or anything. Um, I always wondered, and I didn't find out till I was older, why the deadbolt was up at the top of the door, and it was also a door that they alarmed. So when it opened, it went ding ding ding, And I found out that the reason was because when I was like 2, I would just go out of the door
I think my mom
and
was a
down the street.
yeah, my mom was a not a runner, an absconder of just like and I remember my grandmother talking about that. She'd be like, "Ah, your mother. I find your mother like out of her crib and in the kitchen, like digging through the refrigerator to see what was in there."
I yeah, there was a girl down that lived on the other end of the street. Her name was Stephanie, and she was my brother's age. And I used to just open the door and be like, I go play with Steffi, and I would be like running down the street in my diaper.
Aren't you
And one
glad
time,
you don't need a deadbolt or anybody's permission now to go play with Steffi?
oh, I thought you were gonna say you're glad you no longer need a diaper. I was gonna be like,
Well, that
well,
too.
like,
That too.
yeah, it's only a matter of time till I revert back to needing a diaper. I do miss the fact that when I was that young, I didn't pee when I sneezed. That's not so different. It's yeah.
So Janet Borchardt, she wandered their farm as long as she took the dog. Her parents were fine. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that as an only child, it was just a little bit different because I was like by myself. If there had been either a sibling, or a cousin, or a pet, it might have been a slightly
Yeah,
different.
I was never with my sibling. Never, ever. One time, one time, one of the boys in the neighborhood came over to play with my brother. They were maybe 12, and they were going to play swords. And you know what he brought to play swords?
An actual sword?
Real kitchen knives.
Oh, because 12-year-old boys are really smart and make good decisions.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there was that. But even at like, let's say like 13 with my friends, we were taking the train into Boston for the day. No phone, no
Yeah.
beeper, no nothing.
Yeah. Now, once I was driving, that was a totally a different story. I was supposed to tell my parents and my grandmother. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. I was supposed to tell them where I was going, and about 50% of the time, I was really going where I said I was going. And I often it would be like call when you get there or whatever. But yeah, it's once you have wheels and a driver's license, all bets are off.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of lying about where I was. I also I had a lot of freedom as a kid. Some of my friends' parents really didn't like that about me. But what's funny is they always considered me the bad influence because like, well, she's a lot of freedom and she's this. I never got into any trouble. Their kids did.
Well, and that's one of those like that's the question, the parenting question. It's like, do you give your kids a little bit of rope to, have some freedoms and a good chance that they're going to be good kids and tell you everything and not do wrong stuff? And then it's like if you keep them, you know, um, locked away and so restricted that when they do have a little bit of freedom, they go crazy. That's when I realized you don't have kids, but I have one, and that was one of the constant. How much like rope do we give him? Um, I was probably a little bit too concerned, concerned parent. I'd hold him back from stuff, just worried. Um, but he also, I mean, I think we gave him a certain amount of freedoms to express himself, and he didn't have to lie and sneak around. And I've always been, tell me. I'd rather know where you are doing a bad thing than not know where you are doing a bad thing. Um, not to say you're not going to be in trouble because you will, but I think that he has never been in any trouble. And now that he's 28, I do now know of some of the things he did when he was in high school. Where I was like, oh my god. Um, but that's all kids, I think, and yeah, I think he turned out okay. So yeah, I think there is something to be said for giving your kids just a little bit of freedom, and trusting them.
Then in your opinion, I had a lot of it of freedom. Like I had probably much later curfew than other kids did, but again, I never got into trouble, and I was always like responsible about it. Not to say that I never did anything. Like as a teenager, like I definitely went to parties or
Mm-hmm.
I drank. I really never got into drugs. Um, I never got into like cars with people that had been drinking. Like, there was one night I remember some girlfriends of mine, probably about 15, 14, 14. They came to my house and like, we're gonna go break into that abandoned house and blah, 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 blah. Do you want to come? And I'm like, meh,
See,
no, I'm good.
that's the kind of stuff like I did get into trouble trespassing one time, but it was not in a house. It was on property down by the river and the dam where I grew up. That was probably just dangerous. Like, in fact, I messed up my knee down there that I today still have issues with. I was probably about 14, 15. And yeah, but I was always like, the boys always wanted to go do that stuff. I had a lot of friends who were boys. They always wanted to go, yes, trespass, do like stupid things. And I was just always like, I think I've always been a practical person. Like, why would we want to do that? Why do we want to waste our perfectly beautiful afternoon breaking into an abandoned building that's going to be gross and scary when we could like go to the park and play
Well,
on the swings?
like that's just it. I was like, that just sounds dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is one of those girls' parents were the ones that was like convinced I was like this
The bad one.
horrible influence,
And she was really the one
on
who
her
was the bad
daughter.
one.
And you know what's funny is the cops brought all of them home. And I was just like, huh. And guess who wasn't there?
Yeah, I never got brought home by the cops. I did get in
Me
trouble.
either.
I did get in trouble one time. There was a cop involved. My parents never found out, luckily. Now my mother had to go out and find me a couple times. That was before I could drive. But
I don't think well, no, I'm lying. My mom had to go out and find me once because there had been an emergency and like she needed me to go with her. And I don't think she had to go very far
mhm.
to find me. Um, Janet said breaking into abandoned buildings is still my favorite pastime. I might feel differently, Janet, about it now. If it was like, let's go break into this like Victorian mansion
Right?
that's untouched,
They have
since like
they
World War II.
Well, there is this house, like, and I can't remember where it is now. It's in Virginia or Maryland somewhere, and somebody told me about it. And like, the people apparently owned some kind of business, and I was told that there were literally like hundreds of old sewing machines, like in the attic of this place, and that some people had kind of done one of those like urban archaeology kind of situations and gone in there and looked. So yeah, situations like that, if it's not dangerous, like I will not go in any place where I could fall through a staircase or like, you're looking around and all of a sudden you fall into the room below. Like I don't go. But yes, taking a little peek into an abandoned home.
Yeah, like I'm not one of those people that's like, let's go walk around Chernobyl. You see those videos now of like urban explorers being like,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna go walk around Chernobyl today. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm good. I like my skin. I'll keep it on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So note to self, we're going to have to get together with Janet Dionos at some point. Just for a walkabout. We're coming up there to
Janet,
Black Island, lady.
yeah, do you know of any like places over there worthwhile? Like,
Oh, speaking of, I know I mentioned this to you, but since we have Janet here, so there's that. I can't remember if it's on HBO or Netflix or what it is, but it's about the. Is it the I want to say it's the Carmens or it's something like that. It's a famous murder, like family murder situation that took place like out in the water around Block Island. I think
oh, she must know about it.
yeah, I'm sure she does. I forwarded it to you like I don't know, a week or two ago. But I was like, Block Island is so interesting because of like the historical stuff that Janet, like, gets to look at all the time there. But there's also modern intrigue with Block Island. And Block Island is Rhode Island, by the way. It's a little
there are
island.
definitely some crazy people.
Interesting stuff. Lots of intrigue.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, with that said, it is almost 5 p.m. My time.
A few years ago on a boat, a kid killed his mother.
Yes, that's the one. That is the one. I haven't watched it yet.
Watch. She's gonna be like, he was my neighbor.
Well, I mean, as having sat in Janet's study center, I do know Block Island is a pretty small enclave of locals. It's not like there's a lot of people there. So
She said we're gonna have a program on it this summer.
the murders and intrigue of Block Island. Um, yeah, that's an interesting, like New England. There's lots of interesting little barrier islands and stuff, and I mean even in the Mid Atlantic, that there's always so many interesting stories, for sure.
And Stephanie definitely likes the murdery ones.
Always do. Speaking of, I think I'm probably okay to kind of hint at this. I'm helping chair the Winter Virtual Seminar for American Quilt Study Group, and we recently got a little thread from one of our colleagues who she knows a person who is a lawyer turned quilter who has done research on crime and quilts. And I was like, you had me at crime. Yes, you're accepted. I don't care what the program is. You're accepted. So,
Well, and I mean, you know a story about someone related to quilts, and then there was also a crime.
I know. I think I know.
You talked about it in a lecture.
I know a few of them. Yeah. Yep.
All right, I need food.
Yes, trifles. I know exactly what you're talking about, Jana. Absolutely. It's been on my list. I'm aware of it though. All right. Let's go get the foods.
Oh,
Ooh.
Janet said she could lead a short story group.
I love that idea. Crime and quilts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. It has been fun. I hope you enjoyed our free for all.
Yeah, thanks for looking at my stuff.
And thanks for listening to my AI rant. You can only get that when, on a live stream like this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we will see you guys. Well, okay. So if you follow my stream, I will be here on Monday on Twitch. But if you are just a quilt nerding follower, we will not be here on Tuesday. We will have a pre-recorded video that goes up at 2 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So, because we know you miss us. So to all of our U.S. peeps, happy Thanksgiving. To all of our international peeps, we'll be back week after next.
Yeah, our next book discussion will be on Tuesday, the 2nd of December.
Oh, and I need to tell you something after we stop streaming.
Oh, yeah,
about
don't let these people hear.
December calendar. All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Have a great evening, and we will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.